is the Fox News Rundown. Now a look at sports.
The drama is over in Cincinnati. The Bengals have agreed to a revised contract with four-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Trey Hendrickson, ending his hold-in. Hendrickson will reportedly receive a $14 million raise this season, increasing his salary to $30 million, and he will become an unrestricted free agent after the year. Hendrickson, who led the NFL last season with 17.5 sacks, missed the first 7 days and 5 practices of training camp and accumulated $350,000 in fines. The Bengals open the season on September 7th on the road against the Cleveland Browns. That's sports on the Fox News Rundown. I'm Joe Morgan, Fox News.
Now an update from Outkick's Hot Mic.
Yeah, you can get highlights on your phone, right? And you can go watch highlights when you want, but there's something about ESPN's ability to curate those highlights for us and show it to us in a 30-minute or an hour-long program like SportsCenter. I think for people that want ESPN to get back to being about the sports, I think you're getting your wish for the most part. In a lot of moves they're making, the whole deal with the NFL Network and the NFL, now there's reports out that they may be acquiring MLB Network also in a package. So does that mean that Major League Baseball is going to own 5% of ESPN also? I don't know. But they're really going hard on partnering with these different leagues, and that's going to give you more game content. So more of that, less of Monica McNutt on television not knowing who Barry Sanders is.
Yeah.
That's what ESPN needs a lot more of.
Yeah.
I'm Chad Withrow with Hot Mike with Hutton and Withrow on the Fox News Rundown.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Time for your Fox News commentary.
Tommy Lahren.
What's on your mind?
Some shrimp sold at Walmart could be radioactive. The FDA is warning consumers not to eat certain Great Value brand frozen shrimp products from Walmart due to the fact they could be contaminated with cesium-137, a radioactive isotope. This radioactive contamination traces back to shipping containers of frozen shrimp from Indonesia. Thank goodness for our brave U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents who flagged this at 4 ports, LA, Houston, Savannah, and Miami. The FDA added that although it cannot confirm the presence of contamination in any commercial product in the U.S., the shrimp products appear to have been prepared, packed, or held under unsanitary conditions, whereby it may have been contaminated and may pose a safety concern. So if you get some sketchy frozen Walmart brand shrimp, throw it away, and may I suggest either getting your seafood fresh from U.S. producers or opting for good old-fashioned American red meat instead. That way, you won't glow like a Christmas tree after dinner. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
You've been listening to the Fox News Rundown. To hear the podcast version of this program, go to foxnewspodcasts.com. And for all the latest news, go to foxnews.com.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Elon Musk is suing Apple and OpenAI, accusing the tech giants of thwarting competition for other chatbot makers like his own, xAI. Musk argues that Apple's decision to integrate OpenAI into the iPhone's operating system deprives consumers of a choice and makes it impossible for anyone other than OpenAI's ChatGPT to reach the top of the App Store charts. A couple of stuffy giants are squashing their beef. The Berkshire Hathaway-owned company that makes Squishmallows has agreed to end its lawsuit against Build-A-Bear Workshop over its alleged knockoffs of the popular plush toys. Jazzware sued Build-A-Bear last year, arguing its Squishers copied Squishmallows' look and feel. Build-A-Bear countersued, claiming Jazzwares didn't have trademark rights to its Squishmallow designs. And a one-of-a-kind Michael Jordan Kobe Bryant basketball card that was expected to sell for more than $6 million shattered a record and sold for $12.9 million at auction. The card is from the 2007-2008 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection and features autographs from both basketball legends. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
When the sun goes down, the rivalry heats up. Don't miss another City Connect Friday on August 29th at 6:45 when the Atlanta Braves come to town to face the Phils. Secure your seats today at Phillies.com. Join us for prizes and surprises on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 28th at 3:05 when the Phils host the Twins. All fans receive a 2026 schedule magnet presented by Prego. Order tickets now at Phillies.com.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Free speech lives here. It's Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is Kayal and Company. Good morning. 6 o'clock, straight up. Hey, Dan.
Hi.
I'm looking around here in the Aurora Borealis studio.
What the hell's going on there?
Well, I don't see Dawn. Usually, Dawn's aura creates a little bit of light behind me, and I don't see that.
Well, that's what happens when the host keeps you up until midnight 30 watching his nephew play tennis.
It was a very long night last night, people.
It was
a long night for us. Thanks to everybody who reached out to me last night. My phone was buzzing all night from people I haven't talked to in years. A college roommate from Nova Scotia writes me last night and goes, "Hey, I'm watching your nephew, cousin. Who is that?" So, yeah, Riley Opelka lost a very difficult 3-set match last night at the U.S. Open. It was a great night of tennis. It was a great stage for him to be on, but he lost 3 straight sets to, well, I think, one of the generationally great players.
Oh, you're too kind.
In tennis.
Guy's quite flamboyant.
Well, he's 21 years old. He's on top of the tennis world.
All right, so for those that don't know, this guy walks in yesterday, Mike, and I'll be the one that throws shots.
Okay.
He walks into the match with Riley Opelka for the U.S. Open, all in a purple suede outfit. Not something you usually see someone walk into a tennis court with, purple suede. Takes that off, and it's a fully purple outfit under it. Yeah, and then the just in between sets and such, he reminded me of Tuco from Breaking Bad. He almost looked like he was going to slam, even though he was winning, it looked like he was going to slam his racket a few times. So just quite the personality to watch. But
yeah, well, if you don't watch tennis, Carlos Alcaraz is a little bit of an acquired taste, but he is a remarkable talent, as is Riley Opelka. And sadly, but for 3 or 4 shots, it might have been a different night. And that's the way tennis is. So. But I'm more concerned as we wait on Dawn. Dawn's stuck in traffic somewhere. I hope she's okay. And we'll get to Dawn's news. I'm more worried about the controversy, or as our Australian friends say, the controversy that happened in the Phillies game at at the Mets ballpark, which is right next to the tennis center. There was a gigantic traffic mess in New York yesterday because first nighttime, really, the Monday night matches of the U.S. Open, and the Mets are playing the Phillies. And the Phillies got their butts kicked last night 13-3. Not good. Not good. But there was a bit of a controversy with something in the stands in the outfield. I wonder if Phil has worked a lot of sporting events.
Phil, run down here.
In the technical area. And I think the New York Post has the story, Dan, if you haven't seen it. And I have to ask questions on this. I wasn't watching the Phillies game last night. I was admittedly dedicated to the entirety of the tennis matches. And so I don't know what the heck that was. They said they actually stopped the game to go out and check on a microphone in the stands, which is very bizarre to me. Is Phil able to? I know he's working on a bunch of things.
Should be here now. Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. I was trying to talk.
I kept hearing the opening music.
Hello there, Dano. Yeah, so Phil's with us now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Phil.
Phil, so last night in New York, and you've been a guy who's worked inside stadiums for games.
I have.
All kinds of stadiums and arenas. Do you know what happened at the Mets game last night with a parabolic microphone?
No, I do not.
They actually stopped the match, or the game. I'm back in tennis.
No.
Sorry, I got tennis brain. They stopped the game and went out and checked out a microphone that was in the outfield, and it was a little parabolic microphone, kind of a dish, as they call it. And apparently the Phillies players were saying, hey, it's distracting us or it's reflecting on us. Oh. And my question is, why do you have a microphone in the outfield? That's a parabolic mic. I understand if you're just getting, atmospheric sounds of the crowd. But why would you have a microphone in the outfield, hundreds of feet away, focused on home plate?
I have no idea.
I think you got to catch the audio, the voices of the outfielders, and for not for the live broadcast, but I'm talking for like documentary footage for, MLB Network and such.
There's some fish here. I'm wondering, was it aimed at the dugouts?
Ooh.
Was it a broadcast? See, now I think, was this pointed into the Phillies dugout? See, that stopped. It actually stopped the game for a little bit of time last night. It wasn't going to help the Phillies last night, but I thought that was weird. I thought maybe you would have known, Phil. You have inside connections in this area of technology. I'm sure you.
There's back to the videos. Yeah.
There's a hotline we could call to find out. But it was not a satisfactory night last night in the world of sports. Let's just put it that way. So if you were watching on the YouTube channel, which you should be, and you should also be liking the YouTube broadcast today, we'll find out. We have a busy day scheduled for today. If and when Dawn gets here, which again, I am concerned. When Dawn gets here, we're going to be speaking in about 30 minutes with my friend Dr. Mike Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic, and it all relates to some questions about President Trump and President Trump's health, as well as a couple other health questions. But there is a post online that's getting a lot of attention that says President Trump is actually very, very sick. In fact, this expert, using the air quotes with my fingers, has never examined President Trump, but he gives him like 6 to 8 months to live. It sounds like the kind. Yeah, I know, crazy, Dan. Right? All you've done is seen the person on television, and maybe heard that the president has swollen ankles, which is not an unusual condition for a man of his age.
My wife has swollen ankles.
Well, she's pregnant.
Yeah, well,
that'll go away. I don't know if Donald Trump's swollen ankles will change when you get to this age. And this guy's saying that because Trump is sitting all the time now, he's not seeing him standing as much. When he's in the Oval Office, he's at the Resolute desk. That this is a sign that Donald Trump is failing and he's about to die.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to hear that right now, or you want to take that for Michael when he gets here?
I think he's seen it, so let's share with the audience. This is the crazy viral clip that is is driving me nuts this morning.
So I'll get the audio. 3, 2, hit it.
The president's congestive heart failure is getting worse. I'm a home health physical therapist with a doctorate in my field. I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. And the reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly, I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles.
Physical
I can't tell
therapist?
you how many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. And the kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker. And we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Trump derangement syndrome. First of all, can you imagine if that's your home healthcare helper, your physical therapist, and you suddenly see and you're a Trump fan, and this person is out there spewing
social media.
Yeah, spewing all this hate. I would be very nervous, but this guy is not a doctor. He tries to say, I have a doctorate in my chosen field. And I think we discount him because wasn't that an Atlanta Braves logo behind him, or was that an Alabama?
No, it was a Braves logo, yeah.
Yeah, so we got to discount him that way.
It's crazy, though, the amount of hype that's gone on social media floating around. I've seen it all over TikTok, Twitter, Reddit. It's just those on the left are sharing it with a hopeful nature that this is true, and it's so disgusting to see.
Imagine spending your entire day just praying that the President of the United States dies or is in bad physical health. It's
watching this
evil.
video for many was the bright spot of their day to hear that this guy make a claim that Trump's on his way out.
Yeah, this is called Schadenfreude, the pleasure you take at the misfortune of others, even if it's false misfortune, if this is fake news. If someone on the right had put out a video speculating about the health of Joe Biden, that he was dying in 6 to 8 months, and that he was hiding his health issues back in the day before Elon Musk owned Twitter, it would have been totally silenced. In this world where free speech is allowed once again, all of this is elevated. And this shows you that the left is only interested in the hate and not in any good policies.
And what was it, 10 hours yesterday or something like that? Trump was out there in front of the media doing something. Do you think that his action yesterday, his being out there, was in response to this bubbling up of, is Trump healthy, claims about his health, he's behind a desk? He wasn't behind the desk for a lot of yesterday.
Well, he met the new president of South Korea outside the White House, shook his hand, walked him in, and then walked him around the White House, and then they did sit down for the ceremonial mini press gaggle, and then there was we had the Oval Office signings before that, where the president sits at the Resolute desk while he is surrounded by his team. And I don't think that's because he's tired or his ankles are swollen. I think it's because he's trying to be presidential. And he's got his crew around him, which is kind of what he did. I think that if you look at The Apprentice, it's kind of the same way. So I don't see this as any different. But we will talk to Dr. Roizen about it. And yeah, the president on at least 3 occasions yesterday invited the media into the White House and allowed them to ask questions. He did do the signing of the executive orders, which I'm absolutely dying to talk to Dawn about, the executive order that relates to the burning of the flag, because it is protected speech according to the Supreme Court to burn the flag. But the president and his team wrote a really interesting executive order that finds room to say, oh no, if you're burning the flag to start a riot, if you're burning the flag to do this and incite people to action, to violence, then you can go to jail. And you go to jail for a year or two, I think. And the left is losing its mind. We will, during the cut sheet today, I think, did I send you, Dan, the clip of Joe Biden pushing for
yes
penalties?
Yeah, we have that one, Mike.
Yeah, so you want to save that for the cut sheet?
No, we can do it. Do you want to do a cut sheet? You want to do it now? How it calls?
Well, we're almost ready to take a break here, so we will. In the course of the cut sheet, what's on the cut sheet, we have a ton of stuff.
Producer's note, that's M2, Phil, for later. Sorry.
See, I love that we have the curtain is completely pulled back on the radio. Everything we're doing is out in the open. It's full transparency here on Kayal and Company.
That's what happens when you're in 8 different rooms doing a show, you know?
Or even 8 different counties at this point. As I am in the Delaware studio. By the way, I had planned on being there tomorrow to do the show from the studio.
Yeah, I saw this email. What the heck's going on here?
You guys are going to have a construction crew in the building tomorrow.
Yeah. You guys? I heard that was you bringing it with you. It's a BYOC.
No. Here's what's going on. For the people that don't know, at radio stations, every studio tries to be soundproof, and we have thick glass, and the walls have soundproofing on them, etc. But the doors are these massive doors.
I'm taking control, Phil, of the screen while Mike talks here because I want to show the door. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
They weigh thousands of pounds, and I may be exaggerating, but they're very heavy doors. It's not like the hollow core doors you got in your first apartment you can punch through. These are very expensive, and every couple of years they need to be repaired, and or their hinges need to be rebolstered. Well, since Zioli's out this week, and Nick Kayal is out this week, that's why I'm here, and Stocker's out this week, because we know Stocker would lose his mind if there was noise, and he'd be like that guy at MSNBC that was screaming about the hammering, which we might have to find that clip too.
Do you know who I am?
Exactly. By the way, Greg is on day 2 of a corporate mandated anger management retreat. So he'll come back a completely different guy, probably lithiumed up.
Go away!
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening in his first group therapy session this morning.
There was a world before you.
Exactly, Greg. We know. Get it? Let it out, brother. Let it out. We're all here to help you.
I know everything.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow we are going to have the doors, though, being repaired during the show. They're starting at 7 o'clock. So Frank called me yesterday. He goes, "Hey, if you don't mind the sound," and I'm big on Radio Verite. I love Radio Verite. You know, just let's let people know what's going on. But I may be here because I think it could be a crazy morning for you guys tomorrow. The last thing you need is
wait. So you're not coming in to do it?
We're gonna flip a coin.
No, I mean I can get the kind of similar effect going if you want while you're at home too.
Yeah, jackhammers and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. No, but you're gonna have a crowd of construction crews in there tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be really calm and yeah.
Yeah, well, didn't we have just outside the building? They were tearing down the building next door for a long time.
Yeah. Like full-on jackhammers outside a radio station.
Yeah, it's very easy, and there was no dust on your car when you got out as well. Anyway, so that's why tomorrow might be an adventure or not. We don't know.
People in chat wondering what we did with Dawn. Did we lock her away? What's going on here, Mike?
I believe Dawn was shot in the forehead in a liquor store robbery last night. No, that's the movie regarding Henry. I forgot. I get that mixed up with real life sometimes.
Henry, our producer, Henry?
No, the movie regarding Henry was Harrison Ford.
Oh,
you don't remember that?
I thought you meant like regarding Henry, our producer.
No, we love Henry, and we love Dawn even more.
Yeah, we do.
Dawn is somewhere in traffic.
Special assignment.
And, a special assignment on traffic. Hopefully we'll hear from Dawn shortly.
Live traffic report from Dawn Stenson throughout the morning.
And I'm dying to get Dawn in here because Dr. Roizen is one of Dawn's favorites. And we talked to Dr. Mike Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic about health. And to bring this all back, I was doing a Trumpian weave there, you see. I was going back and forth and doing the Trump weave. And Dr. Roizen is going to explain to us what he knows of Donald Trump's diagnosis and his condition. And then we will address whether or not this TikToker, this amateur doctor therapist who's saying that Trump's got 6 to 8 months to live, whether he's right or wrong. And I also wanted to ask him about looking at the sun early in the morning, which was on a Bill Maher broadcast. They had a neurobiologist that says right about sunrise every day, you should go out and expose your face to the sun and your eyes. And it'll reset your body clock and trigger your mitochondria DNA and give you more energy and help you sleep better and all that stuff. And I want to know if that's real. And plus, I think we have to ask him, do you know about the screw worm, Dan?
What?
The screw worm.
The screw worm?
Yeah, we have our first case of a screw worm in Maryland.
It doesn't sound...
So it's pretty close.
Is it like a parasite?
Yes.
Aye.
Not good.
No.
We'll get into all. I have a lot of happy news today. My nephew lost. The Phillies lost. We're looking for Dawn, and they're going to be jackhammering or something in the studio tomorrow. It's Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal. Yeah, that's right. I can't wait for it. Lawrence O'Donnell. Look for the Lawrence O'Donnell clip.
Oh, I got it. You want the? Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
Stop the hammering.
There you go.
That's tomorrow. It's going to be all day tomorrow. Yep. We'll get to Donald Trump's epic day of taking questions from the press. There's a whole lot going on, and your calls as well. 855-839-1210. 855-839-1210. It's Tuesday morning. Kayal and company. Without Kayal, and I'm missing company. Dawn, where are you? Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-334-1155. 800-334-1155. Again, that's 800-334-1155.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there's lots of places that also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every single second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock specialist is going to help solve the identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpracticed your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, it's Nick Kayal here, and this summer, Piazza Mazda brings you more to move you. More style, more thrills, and more savings. For a limited time, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the award-winning Mazda CX-50. CX-50 Hybrid, CX-70, or CX-90. That's just 1.9% financing. Plus, available now, lease offers, and more. Don't wait. Discover how Mazda has more to move you today. Visit us at Piazza Mazda of Westchester, Piazza Mazda of Reading, or online at piazzamazda.com.
Shopping for an engagement ring can feel a lot like shopping for a used car. You walk in, you're not sure who to trust, and you're wondering if you're getting the real deal or a good sales pitch. That's why people are turning to Family & Company Jewelers. They're changing the game with full transparency, no pressure, no commissions, and now every piece of jewelry in the showcase has the price right there on display. No surprises, no haggling, just real value from our friends at Family & Company Jewelers. Doing things right. Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Free speech lives here. It's Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is 6:26 on a Tuesday morning. Mike Opelka with you. It was nice out this morning when I left the house to head to the Pure Opelka studios. And yes, I'm in for Nick Kayal today, and God willing, tomorrow. We are awaiting Dawn Stensland. She is on her way. We haven't got her locked up anywhere. For those of you speculating in the YouTube chat room, shame on you. How dare you? You know how much I love Dawn. It's a little disturbing, Dan, some of the comments
that
are out there. People are either unhappy with last night having to stay up late and watch tennis like some of us did, or with the Phillies' performance of late. But let's not take it out on the chat room or on the guest host. I'm just saying.
Be kind.
Be kind, people. Rewind your chats. But you can click the like button there, and we'll see what we can do. I did want to share a couple of clips with you. I'm sorry Dawn's not here. We'll probably talk about this throughout the day, and it relates to Donald Trump's busy day. He held 3 different times in the White House yesterday where he allowed the press to ask questions. and he addressed myriad issues throughout all three of these events, and also called out some of the reporters, which is always fun for me. I like it when the president cuts loose on the media, and he has been very direct, talking to them about how dishonest they are in many cases. But I think the biggest story that has gotten a lot of attention is the president signing an executive order that is meant to protect our flag. And the left is losing its mind because, yes, the Supreme Court has declared that burning the flag is protected speech. But I guess the reality is you can't use the flag to create hate and or violent acts. You can't use it in the commission of a crime. So President Trump signing the executive order. We'll give you a little bit of this here. 11A, please.
This is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And there it is. It's not just about burning the flag. It is about using the flag to incite violence, to incite action against other people. And so the president has, in fact, I think, found an interesting way around the Supreme Court decision. And back when the Supreme Court decided this, I think there also were questions, because my father used to get very upset when people would take the American flag and make a shirt out of it. He was a guy who served in the Navy and a great patriot. And he was very upset that anyone would, in his terms, desecrate our great American flag by cutting it up. And so he was against even the flag shirts. And then ultimately, as he understood that it wasn't meant to smear our flag or denigrate the American flag, he was a guy who often was seen wearing a flag tie. But that's just kind of a sidebar to that. We'll see where this goes. The left is out of its mind over this today.
Yeah, they are.
Isn't it fun to watch?
And just the difference that time makes. I mean, you had us pull a great clip of Joe Biden, similar situation, M2. We can cue that up there. But you have people saying that it's not a big deal. It's not. And then we have a multitude of Democrats who have the exact opposite. If just you hop in a time machine, take a listen.
Our diversity naturally pushes us apart, not together. But what holds us together as a nation, Mr. President, is not a common language, although I think that is necessary. It is the national symbol. The reason it is worth preserving is because it unifies this diverse nation. The flag's unique place in our national life means that we should preserve it against all manner of destruction. A statute making it unlawful to burn, mutilate, or trample upon any flag of the United States, period. It doesn't matter who burns or mutilates or tramples the flag, and it doesn't matter why. Under my proposal, it will be unlawful to do the flag harm, no ifs, ands, or buts. I think that we can and that we should tell everyone they can't burn the flag.
So I hope, Mr. President, that we can pass a law that criminalizes flag burning and desecration. I agree that this burning, this desecration that can happen to our flag is something that people have a right to ask this body to try to prohibit and prevent.
Interesting. Everything they were for, they're now against because it comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. It's very funny. We should do a poll in the YouTube room. Can we do that? Where do you stand on burning the flag? Is it protected speech, or is it something that you support? That'd be a quick one. How should we word this, Dan?
I don't know if I was going to support burning the flag.
Well, yeah. Are you okay with burning the flag? Are you offended by it? If you're not offended,
maybe we should word it. Are you in favor of the free speech argument? That's lending credence to a crappy argument, though. So,
is burning the flag free speech, or is it something that should be punishable by law?
Do you want to word it that way? Is burning the flag free speech?
Is burning the flag protected speech, or is it something that should be punishable by law?
Can you put that up there?
So let's do number one choice, free speech. Number two, punishable. It's against the law. We'll see where people stand on that. It's a hot topic of the day. It's almost like we're The View without any panel. Like I said, Dawn is playing the traffic game this morning. I'm sure we're going to get a complete update from her as soon as she gets here. I'm hoping she gets here in time for Dr. Roizen. Dr. Michael Roizen of the Cleveland Clinic is joining us just around the corner. We're going to talk about that TikToker who's claiming Donald Trump has 6 to 8 months to live because he has swollen ankles and he's getting all kinds of crazy infusions that are killing his kidneys, and a couple other things that Dr. Roizen wants to share with us today. It's Michael Pelka. I'm in for Nick Kayal. We don't even have anyone in for Dawn because she's on her way in. So no panics today. Dan's here, Phil is here, and we have a mountain of clips from Trump. Oh, if you missed the president talking about Chris Christie, oh my God. If you missed the president talking about the governor of Illinois, the corpulent governor of Illinois, oh my God. And of course, the left went on to defend Uganda man Gilmore Abrego Garcia. We'll get to all of that today and more on Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The John Birch Society is coming! The John Birch Society is coming!
The John Birch Society is hosting its annual leadership conference at the Crown Plaza Hotel in King of Prussia, featuring retired General Michael Flynn, recent guest on the Tucker Carlson Network, the Solari Report CEO Catherine Austin Fitz, and national speaker and host of Behind the Deep State, Alex Newman. For tickets and more info, go to jbs.org. Saturday, September 13th, 67 Years of Truth. Go to jbs.org today.
Is your AC struggling this summer? Trying to put off replacement for another year? No need to wait. CNC Heating and Air Conditioning will install your new unit now, and you can pay later. Right now, qualified customers get 0% financing and no payments until 2027. That's right, no payments until 2027. As York certified comfort experts, they're the name you can trust. And your estimate? Absolutely free. Call CNC Heating and Air Conditioning today or visit cc-hvac.com.
Your official home of Penn State football and basketball is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Every Nittany Lions game, every play, all season on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by
of Lexus dealer and a 7-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Talk to Tony Labello and his team. They'll get you into the Lexus of your dreams with some of the best deals of the year.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business. Whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank and a member FDIC.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. If you're a fan of saving money, listen up.
From now through August 31st, you can get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That's right, you could pay nothing until 2027. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com to get this great offer. Tell them you heard it on 1210 WPHT.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com.
Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Michael Pelka in for Nick Kayal, Kayal and Company. And Greg Stocker also out this week. I'll be here today and God willing tomorrow. And God willing, Dawn Stenzelin will make it in. She's dealing with some traffic issues apparently. And I was hoping she'd be here for this segment because to be honest, to share with you guys the full unvarnished truth, this was Dawn's idea. Dawn, we were talking yesterday about Ozempic teeth and the story that the dentists are reporting that some people are having issues, people that are on GLP-1s drugs are having issues with the enamel on their teeth and more cavities. And then Dawn said, well, we also have that story about that respiratory therapist who says that Donald Trump has swollen ankles, so he's only got 6 to 8 months to live. And we should ask Dr. Royson about that. And the light bulb went off over my head, and I said, you're absolutely right. Dawn is right. Repeat that 1,000 times. Dawn is correct. So I reached out to our friend Dr. Michael Royson from the Cleveland Clinic, a guy who does so much work with me on radio wherever I am, talks about how you can live healthier, younger, and live longer. That's the goal. And he's joining us here live to talk about a couple of big pieces of news. Dr. Royson, thanks for being here. I want to promote your project about longevity, but you're changing the name of it. So where's the new web address? Where do people go if they want to find out about this?
Well, by the end of this week, I don't know if it's up yet today. It's 4, the number 4, Youngevity. YOUNG Evity. EVITY. So for longevity, and the point was, it's not just living longer, it's living younger longer, which is what we think is going to be very possible. That is, right now, when you're 60, it's possible to have the physiology of the average 40-year-old. By slowing aging, we think you're going to be able to reverse it, and in fact, when you're 90, function as though you're 40 in the very near future, meaning within the next 10 years.
That is amazing. And not just the physical part of it, are they going to be able to reverse some of the brain aging stuff too?
The whole kit and caboose, right? Everything in your body.
Wow. That would be phenomenal. We'll be looking for that. That's why I keep track of Dr. Roizen.
Including your immune system, Mike. So, we always worry about our heart and our lungs. We know how to stop those pretty much now. And it is the nervous system and the immune system that are the big challenges. So you're right on the brain and your ability to fight off cancer and infections. And we're learning that pretty darn fast.
Wow. That's great. I look forward to that. Dr. Roizen, I sent you a couple of topics to talk about. One of them was this therapist who is not a doctor, who's never examined the president, who's going on media reports and the reports out of the White House. The president has swollen ankles, and he's been seen seated at a desk a little bit more these days. And this guy's out there telling us he's got 6 to 8 months to live. What do you know about the president's health and the swollen ankles, and what can we know?
Well, swollen ankles can be a sign of congestive heart failure, or can be you're eating too much salt and you're not sitting in a position or standing in a position where your legs are above your ankles are above your heart level. So he's been traveling on planes. He went to Alaska. He went to Europe. He came back from Alaska in one day, played golf, and then met with the 8 European leaders, including Zelensky, in Washington. That's an incredible amount of stamina. If you think of it, and when you're on a plane, you generally don't lie flat. You're sitting in a chair. And my guess, he was sitting in a chair, and with the change in atmospheric pressure, et cetera, that it turns out the ankles do swell from that and salty food. And they said, of course, that his hands had makeup on them because he had an IV sites in them where he was getting intravenous diuretics, spironolactone and bumetanide, to decrease the ankle swelling. Even if all of that is true, what is amazing to me is the amount of stamina he has. We know from his reports that his blood pressure and his LDL cholesterol are now in normal ranges. They weren't before 2016, but they are now. And so my guess is that the job, being as stressful as it is, makes you older, but I don't think he is that much older that we have to worry about him not being around in 6 or 8 months.
Well, that's a good sign, and kind of irresponsible, I would think, to diagnose anybody, especially if you're not a doctor, if you've never examined them. That's not something you would advise anyone in the health professions to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, correct. And there are a lot of causes for, if you will, swollen ankles. In other words, it can be just he isn't moving his legs very much. And I think he was on a 8-hour flight from Washington to Anchorage or wherever it was, where the meeting was. And those are long time sitting and not moving your ankles much, not moving your legs much. Your legs are what, those muscles in your legs and ankles, and you're moving them, are what pumps fluid from your legs back to the heart.
Dr. Roizen, would it be a bad idea? I know it would be bad visually, but if the president is going to be holding these long meetings in the White House, would it be good for him to elevate his feet, his legs, while he... do
it on a recliner.
In a recliner. He's in like a lazy boy holding cabinet meetings. I know it's bad optics, but would that be helpful?
Yeah, but it might be fine to take a break every hour or two and walk. for 15 minutes, and he can walk one-on-one with someone and do a walking meeting with them and get the same effect that is pumping the legs. So that would be the different advice. But that's right. It is you want to use your muscles.
Well, you got me using a standing desk. For years, I would sit in these 4-hour shows, and since I've started utilizing a standing desk, which I use right now during the whole broadcast, it completely changes you, and I think it adds energy. So I'm pro standing and walking and making sure you're not sedentary all day. I want to shift to another one of the topics we talked about, Ozempic teeth. Dentists are saying that some of the people that are using the GLP-1s are experiencing what they're calling Ozempic teeth, more cavities and some enamel loss. Is this a concern? Because I know you're very positive on what's come from all of the weight loss from all of these Ozempics and Mounjaro and Trizepatide or whatever it is.
Yeah, so let's go back and say they were there for weight loss. And the reason it was thought that the weight loss would decrease a lot of the chronic diseases. People have the joint diseases, heart disease, lung disease, memory loss, impotence in men, even chronic lung disease and chronic kidney disease. And they do. That's the amazing thing. They have amazing powers even without much weight loss. But when you lose weight too fast, the fat pads around your cheeks change, and your gums have more space and will store food, if you will, or particles of food in your mouth. So that Ozempic face, that's from losing weight too fast. So you don't want to lose it that fast. You can lose it a little slower, not as big doses, and get the benefits. And what the article this week showed was that there's those people on one of the GLP-1s, Trizepatide or semaglutide, otherwise known as Mounjaro, and if you will, Zepbound and Ozempic and Wegovy, those people had a 17% reduction in 12 cancers. And so it's almost like remember in the show, Oprah had a show, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. Well, in 2004, in executive health, we started with you get a statin, and you get a statin, and you get a statin, because the benefits of statins were so great. They weren't just reduction in cholesterol, it was reduction in inflammation, which causes a lot of aging. Well, it appears that the GLP-1s are also one of these drugs. You get a GLP-1, you get a GLP-1, you get a GLP-1. So when they come down in price, we're going to be using them for a lot more than just weight loss. And the worry about the teeth and the gums, you've got to take care of your teeth more with this, because you're losing some of the if you will, movement in your mouth that gets rid of particles of food, because you've lost some of the fat pads in your mouth.
Okay. Well, I always say be true to your teeth and they'll never be false to you. So that's, I think, a good bit of advice. I like to throw those in here, Dr. Roizen. We talked about also the vitamin D thing, which we get free vitamin D every day when the sun is out until mid-December. But there was a neurobiologist was telling Bill Maher, a little sunlight every morning, early in the morning, before it's heavy in the UV rays, is good for you. It resets your body clock. It helps your mitochondrial DNA. Is this true? Should we all be getting up and staring at the sun for a couple minutes?
You know, we don't have good enough data in humans. The animal data is pretty substantial, but humans are a little different. So we think that blue wavelength activates you and gets you going in the morning, and does help convert some inactive to active vitamin D. But still, most people, especially in Pennsylvania and Ohio, where I am, are short of vitamin D. And so you really want to get a vitamin D level that's a little higher. It's important for a number of functions. It's really not a vitamin. It's really a hormone in the body, meaning it signals a lot of things. And so you want to get your level measured, or at least take under the age of 50, we say 1,000 international units a day until you get it measured. Over the age of 50 till 65, maybe 2,000, and then get it measured, because over the age of 65, it's variable how your absorption of vitamin D is and how well your skin converts it. And of course, if you're African American or have melanin in your skin, you block the conversion of vitamin D from the sun by that melanin, and so those are the people who really need to take supplements of vitamin D.
Good stuff. Great stuff always from our friend Dr. Michael Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic. Doc, I want to make sure we tell people where to go, because should I just send them to longevityplaybook.com till the end of the week, and then it'll flip over to the new one?
No, we've taken longevityplaybook.com down, and it's now for Youngevity, YOUNGEVITY.com, and that's supposed to be up today, but if not, it'll be up by the end of the week.
Always great stuff, my friend. Thank you so much. I will holler at you shortly. Appreciate you, Dr. Michael Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic. This hour brought to you by Rita's Italian Ice, if you didn't know it. Great stuff at Rita's. Some of the fall flavors are back. Rita's fan favorite pumpkin pie returns alongside the new apple butter in deliciously decadent concrete treats. These cozy combos are here for just a limited time, so you got to jump on this. Do not sleep on this. Try them today. Go to Rita's. They're everywhere. And they're delicious. It's Opelka, and Dawn is joining us next on WPHT.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place, so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Are you constantly searching for extra energy boost? As we age, our bodies produce less of the natural fuel needed to combat fatigue. Discover Rescue Orosine from Rescue Natural Supplements. Now, Rescue Orosine helps enhance energy production at the cellular level, supports a healthy heart, and maintains optimal blood pressure. Plus, right now, our exclusive radio listener offer, you can take advantage of a special offer. Buy one bottle of Orosine, get another completely free. All that you have to do is use the code FUEL when placing an order. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Remember, use that code FUEL at checkout. Again, mention the code FUEL when you call or use it at res-q.com to get your second bottle of energy-producing Rescue Orosine totally free.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/news. That's GoFundMe.com/news to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Free speech lives here. It's Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Good morning, Philadelphia. Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal. How are you? You're looking good. We made it through the dawnless first hour. And barely made it. I have to tell you, Dawn, we were about to send out the sled dogs because we were very concerned. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so sorry. 2 times in 10 years, this has happened. Where
I'm honored to be part of it.
No, the last time was, I can tell you when I, and many of you will remember this, Doug Burgum, Trump Force 47, it was the Chester County meeting, and I was speaking, and the next morning, totally overslept. And so today, woke up, it was light outside, and I was like, oh my God! My phone was, we moved David into college, so he took the extension cord, like the surge protector that I have, that I usually plug into, and then and my backup battery, alarm. So I guess the new extension cord that I put in there that I found in the broom closet that's probably 25 years old wasn't working. So my phone just was dead. I'm mortified. I'm so sorry.
Oh, please. You're the woman who does 6 hours of live radio every day at this radio station. One every 5 years, not a problem. Although this was the last time it happened was during the campaign.
Yeah.
It was frequency is alarming, Dawn.
I know. So it was. And I remember because it was Doug, Doug Burgum, who's now in the cabinet. Obviously, at that point was left the governorship, if you will, of one of the Dakotas. Don't you know?
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Don't you know?
North Dakota.
So it was like this great night, but I think the thing is, that night as well, I was out until like 11 something. And then last night, my son Michael and I, of course, were watching Your Riley so late. So that probably didn't help things.
No, it didn't help. It didn't help any of us last night with Riley Opelka losing a very tough match, close match at the U.S. Open. But it's okay, Dawn. We'll get to it. I'll give you the...
Can I ask Dawn a question? I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah, sure.
Is that where this comes from?
We start at 6 a.m.
Is that from the Burgum situation, or is that something else, sir?
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know when that happened.
6 a.m.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll give you the update. We are doing a poll right now on the YouTube channel that we're asking people about the flag burning executive order. is it free speech or is it something that should be punishable by law, so people can vote on that. It's pretty close right now. I thought it might be heavier towards punishable, but right now it's pretty close, so people can weigh in. I will give you the update on what you missed, Dawn, because Dr. Roizen was all ready for your questions today. He's kind of heartbroken he missed you.
Oh, well, I was here for the other half of it, but I was stuck in traffic because, when it's not the wee hours of the morning, there's actually traffic.
What?
The traffic, maybe we start at 6 a.m. is the traffic, because by 5:55 the Schuylkill is like a parking lot,
Ugh, terrible. Well, we're glad you're here. Let's get a little news with the great Dawn Stenson.
Yes, shall we? Good morning. It's Tuesday, as Greg Stocker always says, Tuesday morning, August the 26th, and we are sponsored this morning by Rita's Water Ice. So we have, by the way, in the news this morning, a robber targeting a postal employee in North Philadelphia at Thompson and Marshall Streets. Happened last night, just right around sunset last night. After sunset, the skies are darkening. This robber attacks the postal employee, USPS, right outside the post office, steals the worker's keys. Remember, we had this going on for a while where they were targeting postal workers, mailmen and mailwomen, they want the keys so that they can get into either the boxes at the post office, but usually those freestanding mailboxes.
And
remember that?
Remember there were master keys? Like there was one that would unlock a bunch, and it was a whole situation where like Port Richmond was getting hit because one key was unlocking a bunch of those big blue mailboxes on the corners.
Exactly. And so that's the concern, because this person got the key. Now, they did not injure the mailman.
Why didn't they stop doing the universal keys last time this happened, Dawn?
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. Like, have a universal key and then have a personal code or something. We all have backup, Someday it'll all be...
Or biometrics.
Yeah. Someday we're all going... Yeah, we're all going toward the Tom Cruise movie, where we'll be buying somebody's Mr. Chang's eyeball. Remember, what was that movie? Minority Report. That's where we're all going.
Mr. Chang's eyeball. I think that's on the menu at one of these pop-up restaurants. Mr. Chang's eyeball. Try it with the hot sauce.
We still have the SEPTA cuts, eliminating 32 bus routes, cut service across the board, 20%. Second day of school, so hoping that Harrisburg gets the budget together and deals with that. We have Philadelphia police investigating after the Weitzman National Museum of American Jewish History was vandalized, and that happened early this morning. So red spray paint covering an Israeli flag, the building's facade, as well as part of its plaza, which used to be part of that. If you have lived in Philadelphia a long time, as most of us have here, you remember that the Weitzman actually used to be where our building was at, right at Independence Hall. And it was
the old
KYW.
studios.
It was CBS 3. Yeah, it was the old, going back to Mike Douglas, those days. It was a historic studio, so if you know right where it is.
So you're telling me this happened right in the
Fifth and
center?
Market.
Wow.
Yeah, Fifth and Market, right across from Independence Hall, all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So early this morning, spraying red spray paint all over, and part of its Plaza Corner, Fifth and Market, Old City. So many believe, obviously, the red paint symbolizing blood, referencing, the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. And it's people are concerned about this.
Did you know that people on Reddit were actually defending this action?
What?
Yeah. Saying this is an attack. This isn't anti-Semitism. This was particularly put towards an Israel flag, or this is a commentary on Israel, not the Jewish faith or anti-Semitism. And a lot of that is kind of percolating on Reddit. It's sad to see.
It's nutty.
It is.
So, nobody was injured, but they released a statement saying, hey, we had been planning to refresh the facade signage with "Bring Them Home Now" hostage messaging as we approach the incomprehensible 2-year anniversary of their inhumane captivity. Speaking exactly about the hostages, about 20 hostages are still believed to be alive. Remember, we got that update actually from President Trump at some point during this negotiation.
Mr. President, what conversations have you had with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about what is going on in Gaza? There was a UN-backed report that said there was a famine in Gaza. Based on what you know and what you've been briefed on, do you agree with that?
So, I deal with Bibi Netanyahu quite a bit, and we had great success, obviously, in Iran. We knocked out their nuclear threat. That would have been a horror show having them have a nuclear weapon. They would have used it, too. We did very well there. Right now, they're talking about Gaza City. There's always talking about something. At some point, it's going to get settled. And I'm saying you better get it settled soon. You have to get it settled soon. And that means, nobody can forget October 7th. People forget October 7th. That was one of the most brutal. I've seen some terrible things, some brutal things. That was about as bad as it gets. And nobody can forget that. With that being said, it's got to get over with. It's got to get over with because between the hunger and all of the other problems, worse than hunger, death, pure death, people being killed. And, I'm the one that brought back the hostages, and I did it with that gentleman right there, Steve Witkoff, and with Marco. All of us, the whole team, we worked together. Even the trade people worked on it with us. And we brought back a lot of the hostages. Now we're left with, would you say 20, Steve, or would you say it's less than 20?
I hope it's 20.
He hopes it's 20 because some could be dead. That's what he means, I assume.
Yeah. So another thing that we can never forget, 4 years ago today, the gates, as I'm looking at the White House, whitehouse.gov, they release, every day we get all of the updates from the presidential actions. You've been talking, Mike Opelka and Dan Borowski, Phil Almquist, you've been talking this morning about the executive actions that were, put in place yesterday. But this today is the fourth commemoration of the attack at Abbey Gate, killing 13 military members. And as the White House, it's a proclamation by President Trump, one of the darkest days in our nation's history. 4 years ago today, the gates of hell sprung open when an evil jihadi terrorist carried out a suicidal bombing in Afghanistan, killing 13 heroes of our U.S. armed forces, shattering the hearts of Americans and our allies. Our nation remembers this atrocious attack, and we honor the memory of every brave warrior who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
A little bit from
Thank
Trump.
God. Thank God the
That
president.
was a terrible day, and I think it was the worst day, and in many ways the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. And yet, at the same time, we learned so much that it's, we call it a big lesson. It won't happen again. A thing like that can never be allowed to happen again.
Yeah, and thank God he memorialized this horrific day with those Gold Star families in the White House yesterday, giving them the respect they deserve. Those 13 families that were forever affected, but there were also almost 36 really bad injuries of our uniformed service personnel. So I was really touched by that yesterday.
Yeah, and so the proclamation goes on to talk about that it was exactly 5:36 p.m., August 26th, on this day in 2021, when that ISIS-K terrorist struck, killing the 13 brave American service members, killed 45 wounded, more than 160 civilians injured, resulting in the single deadliest day for U.S. forces in a decade. So I have no doubt that 5:36 p.m. today, during the commemoration, obviously the White House releasing the proclamation, the president talked about it yesterday, but there will be services and remembrances for the 13, for their families. So, we think of them.
Don, I believe Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had something to say as well.
On behalf of this beautiful group, on behalf of these families, on behalf of your loved ones who fought for our nation, America deserves answers as far as what happened in Afghanistan. The military needs to answer for what happened in Afghanistan. So upon the president's direction, immediately we initiated an investigation which showed that there needed an even deeper dive. So Sean Parnell, our Pentagon spokesman, who himself is an Afghanistan veteran, is leading this effort. It's a top priority for us. We're getting access to all the documents necessary, why decisions were made, why they weren't made, why certain force protection measures were ignored. Again, there's never been accountability for this. It's something that Joe Biden allowed to happen that never should have happened. Any objective observer knows that's not how you leave a country. And certainly these families know better than anyone else. These families deserve answers. We're going to be honest about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. Sean Parnell, an Afghanistan vet, is leading it, and we're doing it on behalf of the American people. So I would anticipate middle of 2026. That's how thorough of a review we're doing. Hopefully a little bit sooner, but we're going into everything to get an understanding of what happened.
I'll look forward to getting that report. Dawn, I don't know if you watched the whole thing. I know you only did 6 hours on air yesterday. You're probably luxuriating in the hot tub when this was going on. But the spring dance hot tub. But we have another former uniformed service member in the vice president who also had something to say.
Sir, I just echo what you said. We're so honored to have all of you here. I know that days like today can't make the hurt go away, but hopefully 4 years on, we can start to remember with fondness and with a little bit of joy the people that were taken from us. We're so proud of you. We're so proud of your loved ones for giving their life for our country. And I think importantly today, this is a rectification of a wrong. The fact that the President of the United States lost your loved ones through incompetence, but never acknowledged it, and your government never actually put pen to paper to say, we're grateful for your sacrifice, we correct that wrong today, and we're going to keep on fighting to understand, as Pete said, what happened so it never happens to another family again. But God love you all, God bless you. We're so thrilled to have you here in the People's Oval Office.
Aww. So, many commemorations and Gold Star families today will be gathering. I'll just end by talking about the Phillies. Well, one thing, we got smoked. It was a rough score, but that's not the lead story. Apparently, there was a surprising mic check last night. So Phillies, our own Philadelphia Phillies, visiting Citi Field to play the NL East rivals there in New York. And there was a minutes-long delay in the top of the fifth inning when there was a claim that the Phils were distracted by the glare off a microphone in the outfield. Tom Brady and the deflated balls.
I don't want to hear about Tom Brady's deflated balls again.
That's what that is.
Yeah, well, or the Houston Astros stealing signs. Could these be listening devices? Microphones can be focused very sharply, so I wonder if there's a controversy here.
I don't know. The thing is, you can't deflate a baseball. They have no excuse. You can't deflate a baseball, so there's that.
You can't?
Well, can you?
No.
It's not as easy as a football.
Maybe.
I'm not an expert on those deflated balls.
You can juice them, though. Isn't that the story?
What's in the middle of a baseball? I don't know.
It's like an Oreo cookie. Or
like
lollipop.
a Tootsie Pop. Yeah.
Folks, we got a break.
So we are sponsored by Rita's Fall Concretes. Fall Concretes are back at Rita's. Fan favorite pumpkin pie returns alongside new apple butter and deliciously decadent concrete treats. But these cozy combos are here for a limited time only, so try them today. Be cool. Go to Rita's. Thank you, Rita's Italian Ice, for sponsoring Kayal & Company News Live.
Do we have any weather? Do you have a quick weather update, Dawn?
Sure.
Because you were in the weather more recently than I was.
The sun is up.
Ooh.
And it's so we have another beautiful day, even more beautiful than it was yesterday. Plenty of sunshine with a high of just 79 degrees. Tomorrow morning, a cool morning. Temps starting off in the 50s, and it will be a sunny, wonderful afternoon with a high of 77 degrees.
Did you guys feel that breeze yesterday, too?
Beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's a little cooler than yesterday.
We'll take that. I'll quiz you on the weekend because we have the Arden Fair coming to our little village this weekend, and rain or shine.
Asking for a friend, right?
Yeah, I'm asking for somebody who might be there. But we'll get to that. Plus, what do you think about the executive order that could criminalize flag burning? And President Trump signed it yesterday in the Oval Office. We have a poll up currently on the YouTube channel. Weigh in, and we'll get into it with Dawn. And I'm happy you're here, Dawn. It's Opelka in for Kayal & Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra and Philly Sports Put to Music at World Cafe Live in Philly, Wednesday, November 19th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
JoeConklin.com!
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week, I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docuseries, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When we place our loved ones in a nursing home, we expect them to receive the best care. We meet with families who learn that their mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers have been terribly abused in nursing homes. Bed sores, malnutrition, broken bones, dehydration, and yes, even death. If you believe that a loved one has been abused or neglected while living in a nursing home, call us. The consultation is free.
Morgan & Morgan, 2005 Market Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
From Chester Springs to Clementon, we know your favorite stations. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
What a classic, and what a classic talent. We lost him. No longer with us. I believe that's Charlie Daniels, is it not, Dan?
It is, you're correct, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big loss, but it's Mike Opelka for Kayal and Company, and Dawn Stensland here. We're going to get to the topic du jour, but Dawn, we understand you had a dead cell phone, but just curiously, because inquiring minds want to know, was Larry late today too?
No, see, normally I wake up when he's leaving the house. He leaves the house between 2:55 and 3 a.m.
Oh,
so usually
God.
I'm up at that time. Then I look at all the clips and all that stuff. But because I was Michael and I, my Michael, not you, Michael, because Michael and I were up watching your Riley Opelka, who was awesome in that match.
Thank you.
I really thought. I thought at one point I thought he's got this. He was incredible.
Had chances. He had chances.
Right out of the gate with the first. Yeah, came out strong and.
But to think about, so the answer is no. I had said I'm sleeping in until 4. I had my alarm set at 4:20, but unfortunately the phone died. So there's that whole story. But no. But the thing about it is, with him to come off an injury, you think about that just from on a tiny scale, like just having a son, my David. With David's football injuries, severe injuries, concussions, he broke his L5 on both sides during football, and to come back from an injury that's a severe injury at that high level as a professional athlete and then be out for 2 years, consider even leaving, retiring, and to come back and play at that level, that is the definition of perseverance. The other, and my son who has my spirit, he was calling him Alcatraz.
Oh, that's what we call him at our house.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
You're calling him that too.
He's always been Alcatraz.
Oh, my gosh. That is awesome.
I couldn't get it right. He's just like, no, Alcaraz. I'm like, no, Alcatraz.
That's Alcatraz. Or Carlito. Because they call it, when he first got into the pros, we're talking about Carlos Alcaraz, who is a generational talent when it comes to tennis players. He is a very skilled kid. At the age of 21, he's already got 5 major titles. He is remarkably physically gifted. And we thought Riley had a chance and a couple of times. But what Dawn's referring to is, I think it was 3 years ago this week, Riley had a tumor removed from his hip. Benign, thank God.
Yeah.
And after that healed, he hurt his wrist and had to have, over the course of a year and a half, 2 wrist surgeries. And that almost ended his career because the first one was botched. So it's been almost 2.5 years of not playing tennis, and now he's back in the top 100. He has won 4 tournaments in his life. There are players who play 20 years as pros and never win a single tournament. Riley's got 4. So I'm hoping he can come back. And he's certainly playing at a top level.
Yeah, then that's just it. He was his career was interrupted by all those crazy, by those factors. So to come back and play at this level on a world stage like that, I thought he was incredible. And that to me shows something about his strength as a human being. When you're young, you're a teenager or you're 21, 22, like Alcatraz is, then I still have to call him that.
This.
You only get $5 million if you win.
Only? It's the most rewarding tennis tournament in the world.
I know, but $5 million to win, to be number 1 in the world, you get $5 million. I
feel like it's kind of low.
You have to win. This is the highest paid, the most valuable tennis tournament anywhere. Wimbledon is 3.6. The Australian Open is 3.5, I think. The U.S. Open is the richest tennis tournament on the planet.
To emphasize, though, what Dawn said, Terry McLaurin, a receiver for the Commanders, not a top 5 receiver in the league, just signed a 3-year, $96 million extension. He's making $32 million a year.
Yeah, they're getting ripped off. It's a ripoff. Think about the advertising dollars.
Yeah.
Think about isn't it in Manhattan? You got all these wealthy people.
It's in Queens. It's in Queens, which it counts as New York City. But there were 75,000 people a day going into the park. They each spend an average of $150 a piece.
This is a ripoff.
While they're there.
We need to renegotiate.
Well, the question is, though, how many, if a guy is as good, top of his game, how many tournaments a year are they playing, and how much is the purse total?
They're
Will it add up to $30 million?
No, doubtful. You'd have to win a whole bunch. Usually a typical tournament, if you win a 250, because it's 250, 500, 1,000, and major. Those are the levels.
Yeah.
And the 250s, you win about 150 to 200,000 if you win the tournament.
They're getting ripped off.
But they all have sponsors. If you looked on Riley's arm, it said Mass Mutual. Fila pays him. The racket company pays him. So he's got shoes, shirts, hats. And he used to be Red Bull, but when he got injured and wasn't playing, they left it. But every time you see a patch, they're getting paid. And every time they're carrying a bag. Riley carries a pink bag from an art gallery in the Netherlands that pays him. So he's got sponsors.
What art does he? I know McEnroe loves it. Like you said, they're friends. Even though I thought the commentators really they were lame, and they were interviewing that Maria during. I'm trying to watch, and they're going, "Oh, Maria, can I?" Whatever. She's very pretty, but you know what I mean. That was weird.
Well,
it's like
Sharapova, Maria Sharapova just got into the Hall of Fame.
Good for her.
Good for you.
And
Good
she
for
stopped by
you.
the
That's
booths.
right.
So they were going to gush
Done
over.
professionally.
But I have to give.
married. He was like trying to pick her up. Oh, he is
No,
married.
he's
All right.
married.
He seemed flirty.
Patty Smith, isn't he still married to Patty
is
Smith?
he? All right, I'm going to look it up. I don't know. I just thought that was unprofessional because you're watching the match. These two are playing. That would have been a major. Like, really? That was just rude. We're trying to watch. You go flirt with the little Maria, on your own time.
And while she's fired up, I want to get fired up too. We spent like 15 minutes talking about a new haircut for this guy, and we didn't hear anything about Riley's injury recovery. Like, what the hell's going on?
Well, I thought McEnroe was fairly reasonable, and he is a friend of. Here's the problem: McEnroe loves the sport, and he sees the talent in Alcatraz, but he loves Riley. They're friends. They hang out together. Riley spent 3 days at his house last year, just sitting on the couch talking art and tennis. Awesome. So it's really kind of difficult to dance the line of broadcaster when you're friends with one and you're enamored of the talents of the other. I thought it was a tough place for him to be in, and they shift. You know what they do, Dawn? When the momentum changes, then they jump on the other bandwagon. That's what happens. Yeah. So I appreciate your defending Riley. It was Dawn writes to me, goes, "These announcers suck."
Mama Bear came out last night. It was great.
No, McEnroe is all. You know what it is? He's all about being John McEnroe, and so he's
Always.
Maria, and he's talking as an insider. But I want like Merrill Reese. Look at Riley. Look at the perseverance. Right? Like, give me some perseverance and a story, a human story of a comeback of an American. That's what I wanted.
Well, you will get that over time, but not with Johnny Mac, because you're right. It's all about. It'll always be about Johnny Mac. Remember, chalk flew up. He was yelling at the umpire. So
was he the one that played the female?
No, what?
Billie Jean.
No, that was Bobby Riggs.
Oh, okay.
Bobby Riggs played Billie Jean King 1,000 years ago in the Battle of the Sexes.
You look very offended that I didn't know that, Mike.
I am.
Your scoff. I can see the scoff on your face.
Or was that Navratilova? She played the trans, right? Didn't she play? Or no?
Martina played against Renee Richards.
Renee Richards. There you go.
Dr. Renee Richards, which I can't believe tennis had trans before anybody else had trans. It's kind of weird.
Which is why they all canceled Navratilova when she came out and said this is wrong for biological males, right? To play.
She's such a Trump hater. It always amazes me when she's on the right side of that issue, which is so great that she is, because she understands that science is science, and you can. Politically, she's crazy.
And one of the biggest women's rights advocates I can remember too, right?
Oh, well, Billie Jean and Martina. Martina, you got to remember, she escaped communism, which always amazes me that she's in with the Democrats, who are basically socialist communists. So it's all about Trump derangement syndrome. She has it, but she's right on biology. And speaking of Trump derangement syndrome, extra Trump derangement syndrome today, Dawn, after the president signed that executive order, we played the clip earlier, that says you can't burn a flag, but it's not just about expression. It's tied to incitement of violence. Are you on which side of this issue? Are you okay with jailing people who are burning flags and using it to incite violence?
Well, his explanation of it was interesting, because he's saying that by burning it, people go crazy, and that it's inciting this violence like we've never seen. That's the claim here. And so I just find it ironic too that, remember when he said go peacefully, go on peacefully.
Right,
They said,
on January 6th.
And then they accused him of inciting violence. So, I think it'll go through the courts, and I will be curious because we value our free speech above all else. And so even though we hate when they burn the flag, I think that this is a tough one because I think free speech always wins. But I think much like anything else, if you're burning the flag and if somehow they can say that you were inciting the violence while doing so, then I think it stands. But otherwise, I don't know. This is a tough one. It's a tough one.
We did put a poll up to ask people. Dan, do you have the numbers on where we stand on the YouTube channel poll on burning the flag right now?
Yeah, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Please go like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and like it. Maybe we can get Mike to, never mind, I don't even want to go down that path today. Is burning the flag free speech or punishable by law? 33% currently say free speech. 67% say punishable.
This is interesting. That's kind of where I thought this audience would be. And Dawn, you brought it up. The people who are charged with this are going to be charged with intending to use it to inspire violence or trigger crimes or violent behavior.
I do have that queued up from Trump if you wanted that, Mike.
We'll get that in 1 second. But one of the hardest things to prove is intent. It's it's almost impossible in court to prove intent unless you have documentary evidence of written or visual confirmation of that person saying, I want to do this to cause this. It's really hard. But yeah, let's roll that clip from Trump yesterday.
Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You could do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. But when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your department.
And it will. I think this is going to have a dampening effect on people who burn the flag because they know that it's going to cost them legally to defend themselves. Whether they're right or not, it will be a very expensive prospect to defend yourself against this charge. And sometimes that deterrent is enough to stop the behavior.
Yeah.
Just a thought. We have the cut sheet coming up just around the corner. And boy, oh boy, with Donald Trump holding forth on 3 separate occasions in the White House yesterday, there are a mountain of cuts. We'll get to them. And your calls, if you want to join us, 855-839-1210. It's Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal, Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Your dream kitchen or bath starts with family, the Kitchen Magic family. At Kitchen Magic, they are a second-generation family-owned company with more than 45 years of experience remodeling kitchens as well as remodeling bathrooms. So they proudly make their own cabinets right here in the USA. So, of course, that makes them, among other things, tariff-proof, and built to last. Right now, you save up to 30% off cabinets through this month of August. Choose the experts your neighbors trust. Kitchen Magic. Just call, or you can visit them, kitchenmagic.com. Schedule your free consultation. Kitchen Magic. Remember the Kitchen Magic family. 30% off cabinets through August. What are you waiting for? kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At Verizon, lock in a low price on the best 5G in Philly and be the best you. Check where your ride is for your trip into the office, get that almost impossible dinner reservation, and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming and 2G speeds. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 2H 2024. The results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance. This Saturday, August 30th at noon. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday at noon on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
This summer, Hester Chevrolet is turning up the heat with summer savings on a great selection. Looking for a great deal? Lease a new 2026 Chevy Equinox, just $343 per month, or a new 2024 Chevy Silverado EV, just $699 a month. Visit Hester Chevrolet, Philly's trusted Chevy dealer, or check us out online at HesterChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for details. Hester Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hester Chevrolet!
Here's retirement phase expert Joanne Small-Canella with today's report.
When you reach the cruising altitude of your working career, it's important that you prepare for the eventual descent to the retirement runway. But if your assets are piloted by brokers specializing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, your retirement plan could experience engine failure, sending your future way off course. And that's why this week's expert report highlights the protective gear that can help guide your retirement savings to safety in the event of market turbulence. Many risk-averse investors turn to certificates of deposit offered by banks when stock market volatility spikes. While you might find CDs with promotional rates as high as 4.5%, the national average CD rate is far lower, around 2.1% to 2.4%, and that's according to the FDIC. But here's what most passengers on a financial flight in the banking industry don't realize. The advertised interest rate on a bank CD isn't what you actually take home. Every dollar of interest is taxed as ordinary income each year. And since you can't access those funds without a penalty, you're being taxed on money you're not using and have less money to compound in the following years. Luckily, there are financial vehicles offered by the life insurance industry that will keep your retirement flight on course. Like CDs, with these fixed assets, your principal is protected, as is your credited interest. But unlike CDs, your growth is tax deferred. So all of your interest credited will compound as long as it remains in the account, and you have access to a portion of your money without penalty. And these fixed assets can easily earn 4 to 6% interest credited annually, with the potential of double-digit interest returns, outperforming even the best CDs. Seek out a retirement phase expert who can help you pilot your retirement and guarantee a smooth landing for your financial future.
To hear more reports that'll impact your retirement future, join Joanne Small-Canella on the Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 1 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Free speech in Philly on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
What's on the cut sheet?
Yeah, that's right. It's that time of the morning where we go to the cut sheet and travel sometimes. This time we're going to go out to the great city of Chicago, or the questionably great city of Chicago. Well, first we'll start in Washington, D.C. and get some comments from the president. President Trump spoke yesterday in a press conference, many press conferences throughout the day, but spoke about the situation in Chicago not being too great. 11E there. Phil, let's get it started.
As you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now, and they don't acknowledge it. and they say, we don't need him, freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense, and I'm a smart person. And when I see what's happening to our cities, and then you send in troops, instead of being praised, they're saying you're trying to take over the republic. These people are sick. But I'm really saying, and I say this to all of you, in a certain way, we should wait to be asked, because they have cities that are so under control, out of control. So we go in and fix it. They take the full credit for it, and they go out and say, I heard it this morning. They're saying how well they've done over the last 10-day period, that they set record lows. They don't say that we're there with very tough people, by the way. They have to pass the toughness test. Otherwise, they're not working for us. So, and we're allowed to do that now according to the United States Supreme Court decision. Now, they have to pass a toughness test. If they're not tough, we don't want them for this job. They might be great for other jobs, but not for this job.
So that was an incredible Trump weave, if you were keeping score.
Mm-hmm.
He got the Chicago thing. He talked about the Supreme Court win that allows the wokeness to be removed from the military so training can be tougher. It's great stuff. That was classic Trump right there.
Are you guys at all concerned about as people on social say, the quote, federalization of the police force and bringing National Guard sending from D.C. And without the invitation? You heard Trump there say maybe we should wait for an invitation. Do you guys think he should be waiting for an invitation?
Well, the invitation is because D.C.'s different, much like, by the way, Philadelphia is different, right? That it depends on the law. But I think technically, when you go into a city like Chicago or any city in somebody else's state, you have to wait. The protocol is you've got to wait for the governor's invitation, right?
Yeah,
Except
absolutely.
certain old cities, the charter is different.
Well, D.C. is part of the federal district, so Trump has the ability to go in there. Unless there's a national emergency, you have to wait for the governor. So Pritzker or Shapiro would have to request it for Philly or Chicago to get the National Guard.
Do you guys really trust the leaders to actually call for it, though, when they're making up stuff like what Stephen Miller talks about here?
The president spoke about this before. We've uncovered, in the process of uncovering, a massive scandal in Washington, D.C., with the doctoring of crime stats. And the Department of Justice, under the Attorney General, is leading the effort to uncover this. But when we ultimately share the results, it will stun you. The extent to which, even though D.C. had the worst crime in America, honestly measured, it dramatically understated how bad it was. There's even accusations that murders and homicides were reported as accidents instead of murders. I mean, this is how severe the manipulation of the crime data has been in the city, and it will all be uncovered and it will all be brought to light. I've had a chance to spend some time, as did everyone here, with the police officers in the city. Members of the public are going up to them and thanking them, just overflowing with gratitude.
Not what you'd expect after hearing a press conference yesterday, which we'll get into a second. But guys, your thoughts on the potential flubbing of numbers here? Me and Dawn got into it on the Dawn Show a little bit, but Mike, I'd love to hear your opinion, because it's been a situation we've been dealing with here in Philadelphia for as long as I can remember.
Well, if you go to heyjackass.com, and I'm not kidding, that is a website called heyjackass.com. They track every crime reported in Chicago, specifically violent crime. Chicago, even though they've had a significant drop, is still averaging over a murder a day. So the crime rate is still realistic and bad. It's bad. But here's my problem with that clip. Stephen Miller is the wrong messenger.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Stephen Miller is just an attack dog, and at some point he just becomes noise. I think Donald Trump would do much better getting his message across if he would keep Miller off to the side and let Caroline Levitt or...
You agree too, Don?
Well, just in what you're saying, Trump says it better. Caroline, if somebody else says it better, and in particular from a female perspective, because you can't help but think these are a female is the number one target. These are the females. Caroline Levitt goes into the building. No doubt she has great security, but you can't help but think she's more vulnerable. And so that just in and of itself, if she feels safer as a young woman, 27-year-old woman, young mom, she's walking into her workplace. that whole human vibe is there. And so I agree with you.
I think Miller is just too much yap. He's a one-note guy, and even though his data is good, we knew about the flubbing or the fudging of the DC crime stats last week. So all he's doing is repeating. He's like the little yappy dog that follows the big dog.
I don't know about that.
Down. To me, he is. I think he's the wrong messenger. I'd love to see Tulsi. I'd love to see Caroline Levitt.
I disagree because we can't enter ourselves into a war of empathy with the Democrats.
It's not empathy.
I just don't think Republicans are going to win, though, if we try to... I feel like in this particular case, when Democrats are going to try to spin it as if and gaslight and say they didn't have anything to do with the crime spiking, we need someone out there that's going to call them out on their BS, like Stephen Miller.
I'm just saying, wrong messenger. The optics matter,
Well,
and
Trump
he's
said it
not. He's
first.
not sympathetic. You need a sympathetic. Dawn nailed it. You need a female to bring this point across. Just my opinion.
Got a little personal after Stephen Miller when we get to Governor Pritzker, for good reason, though. I mean, the guy's out there doing the media rounds looking like an idiot. But first, let's hear from Trump, and then we'll hear from Pritzker. Take a listen.
You really want to be asked to go. I hate to barge in on a city and then be treated horribly by corrupt politicians and bad politicians like a guy like Pritzker. He ought to spend more time in the gym, actually. This guy is a disaster. Gavin Newsom's a disaster. When we saved Los Angeles. You wouldn't have been able to have the Olympics in Los Angeles. You're barely able to have it now. They did lose 25,000 houses to it.
Yeah, but you hear it there. Governor Pritzker needs to get into a gym. I would think you guys agree with that, right?
Well, he is a fatty fatso. And have you seen his cousin? They started showing pictures of Pritzker's transgender cousin online last night.
He has a transgendered cousin?
Yeah, look it up. See if you can find the image. I just find Pritzker to be an entitled. The word I want to use starts with PRI.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just going to call him a Pritz.
It looks
He's
like
a real
him.
Pritz. Yeah, do you
Have
have
you
it?
seen them in the same room together?
No, we haven't. That's a very good question. Pritzker has a trans cousin, apparently. Maybe.
Huh.
Can you post it? Are we able to grab that
I'll
image?
get it over there. And
That's
Pritzker's-
great.
He made his money on Hyatt, though, right? The Hyatt Hotel
Yeah,
chain?
he's a Nepo baby, or he's a family inheritance baby.
Yeah.
Huh.
Through the Hyatt Hotels and Marmon Group.
I do like Hyatts. They've made quite a turnaround.
I'm a member of the club. When I stay, I get the free Wi-Fi.
Here's some from Pritzker.
Well, from my perspective, it takes one to know one on the weight question. And the president, of course, himself is not in good shape. So he ought to respond to that from me. I would say also that his personal attacks on me are just evidence of a guy who's still living in fifth grade. He's the kind of bully that throws invectives at people, and because he knows that what he's saying is actually commentary on himself.
Wait a minute. Where was he standing?
You want to know?
I do want to know because
he complained about Trump being rent-free in his head, Mike.
Yeah.
And then the camera pans up. YouTube.com/@12WPHT. This one is a pure visual, but I just love the cameraman's perfect here with the slow fade up. Watch, ready?
We're very pleased about the progress that we're making. I know that I live rent-free in the president's head.
Slow fade.
And I wish he
Slow
would
pan.
spend some time in Chicago so that he could see what a lovely city we have. Governor, quick follow-up. What do you do if the National Guard
in the shadow of doing it in the shadow of Trump Tower in Chicago. There.
That's pretty funny.
That guy. To talk about somebody living rent-free in your head. Hello.
It's funny how the media never talks about the fact that when his dad died back in 1999, this is a guy who inherited $1.4 billion and had, been given money before that. But the family all sued each other. It was like this nasty lawsuit that went on. But nobody says he inherited $1.5 billion. It's kind of funny how that works.
So the show Succession was actually about the Pritzker family, not the Trump family.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because we're told Donald Trump inherited, what was it, a couple $100 million, 200, 300 million?
That's what they claim.
Pritzker inherited more than $1 billion, more than Trump. And how old is J.B. Pritzker? Do we know? Is there an age on
I have
him?
it here, 60 years old.
So Donald Trump is almost 20 years older The Pritzker? And Pritzker's playing the it takes one to know one game in terms of weight.
That's a good point.
And then saying Donald Trump sounds like a fifth grader. It takes one to know one.
Mm-hmm.
I am rubber, you are glue. Whatever you say about me, it sticks to you.
Chris Eppolito over on youtube.com/@12WPHT. We got a great community, great chat over there. It says, Fight Club suggestion, Chris Christie versus J.B. Pritzker.
Ooh, heavyweight division.
Ooh.
I think it'd be pretty good. Here's more from Pritzker.
Into what he's saying about this.
Over the weekend, we learned from the media that Donald Trump has been planning for quite a while now to deploy armed military personnel to the streets of Chicago. This is exactly the type of overreach that our country's founders warned against. And it's the reason that they established a federal system with a separation of powers built on checks and balances. What President Trump is doing is unprecedented and unwarranted. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. It is un-American. No one from the White House or the executive branch has reached out to me or to the mayor. No one has reached out to our staffs. No effort has been made to coordinate or to ask for our assistance in identifying any actions that might be helpful to us. Local law enforcement has not been contacted. We have made no requests for federal intervention.
I think we got the point there from Mr. Pritzker. But,
Interesting. I wonder if that's true. Well, if the president just sends them, yeah, it's breaking the constitutional regulations. You do need to get a request from the governor. But if you're averaging over a murder a day, and you're saying that's good because it's down from, what was it, 2 murders a day or more in the last couple of years, I guess everybody's been murdered. Or maybe you got all the crime is down because you got rid of some of the illegals. And that's a big deal.
Well, if you ask the people of Chicago, I think they have a different story there, Mike. And
the people, my old Southsiders, they're very interesting people. They will tell you the truth even when their governor won't. I would say let's hit some of the clips here talking about it. A store owner, cut M4 on this one, please.
It's just sick of people coming into the neighborhood and acting like they can just come ravage your stores, take what they want to take, and then they try to make you feel like you're wrong for defending your property.
Yeah, that's a Foot Locker owner, and interestingly enough, a Foot Locker customer was stepping up and saying, I'm not happy about this. Cut M8, please.
I'm shocked and I'm disappointed at the same time because this neighborhood used to be a very good neighborhood.
It happened around 6 o'clock Sunday morning at the store in the Lake Meadows Shopping Center, located near 35th and King Drive in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood on the city's south side. Criminals targeted the same store around the same time last year.
So they're getting their annual haul from the Foot Locker store. But it's not just the south side. It's all over the city. There are people that are downtown residents that talk about their neighborhoods. Check out M5.
We have a rule, like on weekends, we don't walk here. We'll just, like if we go, we'll go to West Loop or whatever, we'll Uber, and then we'll Uber home.
So you'll go somewhere, Uber, and then Uber home, not because it's a long distance, but because it is not safe. And you need to take an Uber, even a short walkable distance. And even the typically liberal Chicago aldermen are talking about it. Check out this guy.
We have a crime problem in Chicago. People like to say crime is down, and perhaps the numbers suggest they are, but we still have a problem. We have a problem with illegal guns. We have a high murder rate. We need help with that.
Chicago has the toughest gun laws in the country, in my opinion. You really can't even think about owning a gun in Chicago without being under investigation, it seems. But the crime hits every single area. And the residents are saying, we're not even seeing the cops. This Chicago pub owner was robbed, and he's kind of still upset about it. M7, please.
You hardly see a police car in a neighborhood.
Declan Morgan has owned and operated Irish Nobleman Pub in Westtown for more than 20 years.
What a pub operator name.
Yet in recent years, violent crime has literally walked through the front door.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up.
This is video from the bar from when the armed robbery crew came in right before closing, taking cash and belongings from customers, employees, and the pub.
It just seems like crime is really out of control right now.
He and many in the neighborhood contributed to the closure of that police station, and cops in the 12th district now stationed so far away.
We're 600 north here. We're by Chicago Avenue, and our police district is in Pilsen. Mayor Johnson's more worried about his school board and his, pension stuff that he's working on. He should be worried more about the, neighborhoods in Chicago.
When your name is Declan Morgan, there's no other job you can get but pub owner in Chicago, right? I mean, he was destined to become an Irish pub owner, Don.
I love it.
Now, three murders over the weekend, so averaging more than a killing a day, if you want to see what Chicago's like and why Chicago is being focused before Philadelphia. Our crime is still an issue here. We still have some issues that need to be cleaned up, but we're apparently not, Chicago's 6 times greater in terms of violent crime and murders than Philadelphia at this point. So maybe we're on the short list after Chicago.
I think that Trump, and he alluded to it. I don't think he's going to go. I don't think he is going to deploy to any place else, mostly because of the home charter rules that allow him to go into D.C. and not these other cities that we talked about. But I think at the end of the day, Trump knows that when he talks about it, that's enough, because the Democrats across the country are just playing into his hand by saying, "Oh no, he can't come here." What, to assist in fighting your high crime rate? Like, how do you, it's an indefensible situation to say, "Oh no, nothing to see here. The crime rate, it is what it is."
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Well, Jesse Waters and several others have said this is Trump setting a trap for the Democrats, and you could do one city a week for the next 52 weeks leading up to the midterms and say we're going to go to every big blue city and clean up the crime and watch the Democrats defend crime instead of defending the actual law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a good strategy.
It wasn't Jesse who first said it. I actually think it was Chris Matthews, Jimmy's uncle.
Ooh.
Jimmy's on our YouTube chat. But I think Chris Matthews a couple of weeks
Really?
ago was the first one to say it's a trap, and then Mika quoted him, and then it goes down the echo chamber. But I think it actually started with Chris Matthews.
So what we've learned is Jesse Waters watches Chris Matthews.
Murder rate. You can't keep saying violent crime is down, but the murder rate's up. To the average person, the murder rate's about life and death. You don't brag about a rising murder rate. And the Democrats are, I agree with you, Mika, they're falling into the trap of defending what's indefensible.
It's a trap. Yes, it's a trap. I mean, if it's not a winner politically to say, "Oh, you're wrong, look at the data," because if one violent crime happens in a very heavily populated part of the city, people hear about it, and it's visceral. They don't want it, and they'll gravitate to the person who appears to be doing something about it.
About it, as she's gritting her teeth.
Is Mika, Dawn, you can help me out here. Is Mika murder-splaining?
I think she is.
That kind of feels like that's such a weird justification.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why you shouldn't be upset about somebody getting killed in your neighborhood.
Yes. And the way that she grits her teeth at the end of it,
I feel so bad for Joe sometimes.
I don't feel bad for him.
Trump was asked about, why isn't he going to red cities, or whether or not he'd go into red cities. Take a listen.
Mr. President, on the National Guard, you've talked a lot about Democratic-run cities and states. Would you also consider sending the National Guard into red states and red cities that are also seeing high crime?
Sure, but there aren't that many of them. If you look at the top 25 cities for crime, just about every one of those cities is run by Democrats. And one of the bad things they did, cashless bail, if you look back on time, when they allowed a murderer out that afternoon, he'd kill somebody and then a couple of hours later he's walking the streets again, oftentimes killing again rapidly. Cashless bail is a disaster. You saw we had a news conference today on that. We're wiping it out in D.C., immediately wiping it out. It started in New York, I must tell you. and it's been a horrible thing for crime, especially violent crime.
And there was a New York Post piece that had a story of a guy who's been pinched 45 times for, I guess he's a pickpocket, and each time he's out that same day.
Oh, my gosh.
I know that's not violent crime, but if you've had your wallet or purse stolen, that's a real mess to your life.
It is. And the point that you bring up, and think about Mamdani, when we talked about this yesterday, Mamdani, the leading mayoral candidate in New York City, wants to get rid of misdemeanors or what he calls minor crimes. But the problem is exactly what anybody who has been victimized by some of these crimes, whether you were pickpocketed or maybe your vehicle you left. I've had this happen a couple times in Philadelphia where it's called a smash and grab, where they smash the window and then they take, the contents. You left your backpack, you left your...
Sorry.
Well, I think if you've lived in this or worked in any city long enough, and and look, it's we had it actually. The first one was RNC 20 years ago, or I should say, in the year 2000, was outside the Big Irish Bar, and Larry and I were smash and grab. We had all these like great pictures with like Newt Gingrich and whatever, and that was probably one of the first smash and grabs. So. My point is, you feel so violated, but it does. It just wreaks havoc, to your point, Mike, on your life. That you have to cancel everything, all the cards, So it's not a victimless crime. It's really not minor if it happens to you. It's just minor if it happens to, I guess, for a candidate like Mamdani, who has all this security, like for his wedding and so on,
Mamdani, who now has a police guaranteed security detail, is the guy who wants to defund the police, or used to in the past, but not for himself.
I think it's a great contrast, guys, to exactly what you're talking about. Is you have someone like Mamdani up in New York who's calling for the crap like that. And meanwhile, in red areas, for some levity, before we break out here, I want to bring in Sheriff Grady Judd, who's a guy down there in Florida.
Him.
Yeah, you actually know of him? You know of him? Why do you know of him there?
I might have spent some time in a witless protection program in Florida for the last 6 months.
So a quick setup here, 30 seconds as to what he started his press conference with yesterday.
I got the drip. I got the body. We got their guns. We got their dope. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
I got their drip, and he's wearing a big gold chain for those who aren't watching on YouTube. But he holds a press conference yesterday, donning some of the things that they've recovered from these drug busts, and does a whole press conference essentially using those props to explain why it's so important, even though people like to claim drug offenses are nonviolent, to handle drug offenses and such. And I think it makes a great point. It's about a minute long. Take a watch.
We did 6 wire intercepts and 9 search warrants, 8 of the search warrants in Bartow back in November of last year. And guess what? $50,000 in drip. But I want you to imagine this for a minute. People continue to tell you that drugs are low level and nonviolent. They're anything but low level and nonviolent. Where you see $50,000 in drip, where you see, that not so dangerous drug of cannabis.
Official, I love it.
You see guns. And you see first-degree murder from overdose.
At least he's holding it right. He doesn't have his finger on the trigger. But these Florida sheriffs are so animated and so entertaining. And he's wearing the giant cables, as they used to call them in the 80s, the big gold bling that he's got. But Florida yesterday did 2 big things that I think should be mirrored by law enforcement in other areas. They announced that at truck weigh stations, they're going to put ICE agents in the weigh stations, and they're going to check the drivers to see, A, are they legal, and B, can they speak and read English? And I would love to see this in every state at every trucker weigh station. And I know Florida is really going hard on this, but that's huge. And then there was a massive drug bust that was shown yesterday in Florida. I don't have the video here. Dan, I don't think you do either.
No, I do. Yeah, it's
You
up
do?
there.
It was huge.
Yeah, we actually have Greg Kehoe. He's the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida talking about this. Mike, here you go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Kehoe. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida, part of the Department of Justice, of course. I'm with other elements from DEA and FBI, part of the Department of Justice, and other law enforcement elements in Department of Homeland Security, including others. This element is in the Middle District of Florida is called Panama Express, and they are investigating these matters. And Panama Express, so you know, is the most successful counter-drug operation in the nation's history for over 25 years. The U.S. Attorney's Office, FBI, DEA, Coast Guard Investigative Services, and the Department of Homeland Security have done the following. Contributed to the arrests of almost 4,000 drug traffickers, including 400 leaders in these organizations. Denied over $45 billion in revenue, and seized over 1.3 million kilograms of cocaine.
It's astounding. And when you think about that, if that happened in every major port, in every major city in the country, how many lives would be saved? We talked about how many people were killed from fentanyl in the last few years. Dawn, we were averaging like 100,000 people a year.
Yeah,
from
more than
fentanyl.
that. Yeah.
Will we see? Are we hearing anything? Is there a precipitous drop in those deaths because of all the interdiction that's going on right now? I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as we clean up the streets, it's all interrelated. And the fact that Trump came out, and then what is everybody talking about? Cashless bail. Everybody has that. Think about all of these conversations that were initiated by President Trump signing those executive orders yesterday. And so he is the master of controlling the news cycle. And this, I think, makes the Democrats crazy. And I think a lot of people don't realize it. But it's, as he's controlling the news cycle, he's controlling the conversation by leading it. And now everybody's going, well, what about cashless bail? What happened before, when we did not have that? And then you get all these experts, many of them who, in fact, are Democrats, who go, not for nothing, but this cashless bail really sparked a real problem across America, including, by the way, here in Philadelphia. Because you take this tiny percentage of people who are these criminals who get emboldened each time they get out, and then you have the juvenile experience where they're recruiting younger and younger juvies to do the crimes. It's a nightmare.
Well, the recruiting of the juveniles is because they don't get serious time.
Yeah.
They get sent to, what did Judge Shadeen say, yoga camp.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But if we look at this, what Trump is doing is a multi-layered attack on the crime in this country by cutting off the supply, this massive shutdown of drugs being brought into the country. That's going to hurt the big side. And the cashless bail thing, if we can eliminate cashless bail, that will hurt the street level. So he's doing this on a couple of levels, and you have to salute him. This, again, goes to he's playing 3D chess. And the Democrats are playing checkers at their summer meeting, going absolutely nuts. Do we have time to get into any of the Democrat summer meeting stuff?
Let's get into that after the break, if you wouldn't mind. We do have the break here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There is so much stupidity that
so
happened.
Much.
Oh my God! We could almost do an entire cut sheet on Democrats say the darndest things at their own meeting. We'll get to it.
Hey, Mike, before we get a break, I just want to send people youtube.com/@12WPHT. During the break, we'll show some of the footage of the offloading of the drugs by the Coast Guard. And just some of those numbers I just want to get out there. 76,140 pounds of illicit narcotics, $473 million make it the largest quantity of drugs offloaded in Coast Guard history.
Wow. Well, as some of you in the chat room have been saying, Hunter Biden must be drooling. Shame on you, but that's hilarious. It's Michael Pelka, it's Dawn Stenzelin, it's Dan, it's Phil, it's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
WPHT WPHT HD WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Stop buying gold online. Edelman's Coins is the Philadelphia area's largest buyer and seller of gold and silver bullion. Family owned for 99 years, Edelman's Coins has continued to provide ultra-competitive pricing paired with unparalleled customer service. With transparent buy-sell spreads, you know you will always get a fair deal. When buying or selling bullion or coins, think Edelman's Coins. Call 215-572-6480 or visit edelmanscoins.com.
When your AC loses its cool or your water heater loses its heat, it throws your whole day off. You can't think straight. You're like, what grade are my kids in? I'm not left-handed. There's only one cure. Hutchinson Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Heating will show up same day and get your AC or hot water back in shape with 100% satisfaction and no emergency service fees ever. Hutchinson will get you thinking straight until you forget your internet password again. Schedule now at hutchcomfort.com.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Kayal and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Between email addresses, social media, apps, this, that, and the other thing, I can't keep track of all my passwords anymore. I've had to write them down on a notepad and store them in a safe place. I'm tired of having to reset my password and then get the verification email and then go in and change it. And then they tell me that it's not strong enough. Can you throw a few characters on the end? How about a money sign? Oh, don't forget the capital letter. It's got to be between 8 and 12s. There's too many consonants.
Start your day with Kayal and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. Now you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
Look, the Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand has with the American consumers. Bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness gracious. What are we talking about here in terms of big party registration changes in the key swing states? Let's look at the key 4 swing states that, in fact, do keep track of registration by party. Look, the Republican Party is in their best position at this point in the cycle since at least 2005 in all 4 of these key battleground states. We go out to the Southwest, Arizona. How about Nevada? Republicans haven't done this well since 2005. Oh, my goodness gracious, at this point in the cycle. North Carolina, I couldn't find a point at which Republicans were doing better at this point in the cycle. It's at least this century. It probably goes way back in the last century. And Pennsylvania, very similar. Republicans doing better at this point than at any point this century, at least as far as I could find. Now, what types of gains are we talking about here for the Republican Party? Well, let's compare it to this point during the first Trump administration all the way back in 2017.
That was, of course, Harry Enton, a person, not a physical condition. CNN's numbers guy, Harry Enton, showing that the Democrats are doing so badly that they're worse in terms of public opinion than Cracker Barrel at this point. It's really bad. It's Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal, Kayal and Company. Don Stensland here. Dan's here. Phil's here. Of course, we'll have Phil's music history lesson coming up at the end of the show. I love it every single day. We were talking about the Democrats, and they held their summer meeting in Minneapolis. Now, when they planned this meeting, because, Dawn, you know the corporate world and you know the political world, when you plan your annual meetings, you usually plan this at least a year in advance. So a year ago, Democrats were thinking, well, we'll get Kamala and Tim, and we'll have our annual meeting, and we'll do it in Tim's home state of Minneapolis, and it's going to be huge. And then they lost. And they still had to do it in Minneapolis. And they didn't disappoint when it came to wokeness. In fact, the opening of the DNC summer meeting began with one of the most woke things I've ever seen.
Lindy Somek, who is from the Saginaw Ojibwe Nation, and she's going to deliver our land acknowledgement today. Lindy.
Bonjour, Lindy Somek, Nindijikas, Amik Saginaw Chippewa Dojaba, Anishinaabe Kwe, and Dow. Good morning, DNC members, friends, and relatives. Let's talk about the land for a second. The DNC acknowledges and honors the Dakota Oyate, the Dakota people, who are the original stewards of the lands and waters of Minneapolis. The Dakota cared for the lands, lakes, and the Wakatonka, the Great River, the Mississippi River, for thousands of years before colonization. This land was not claimed or traded. It's a part of a history of broken treaties and promises. And in many ways, we still live in a system built to suppress Indigenous peoples' cultural and spiritual history.
I don't think I've ever attended an event where we apologize for the stolen land. Dawn, have you?
No.
On what planet is this a good strategy to rally the troops? You notice the people are all whipped up at that acknowledgement, right? Crazy.
It's kind of anti, the U.S. too, is it not?
Yeah, that's the Democrat Party. They're ashamed of this country. Yeah. It certainly feels that way. And we went from the acknowledgement of the stolen land to Keith Ellison, the Attorney General, at the DNC summer meeting, and he's announcing that all the positive stuff that they're going to be doing, all the great policies that they're going to be putting out there.
Dude, 44 times. And we'll sue them 44 more and 44 more after that. And we have sued them for gender affirming care. Yes, we are not going to scapegoat our transgender community. And we have sued them to stand up for medical research, National Institute.
I'm so happy. So happy the Democrats are sticking to their 90-10 issues and they're on the 10 side of things.
Well said.
Just, it's so good because we worry about this. We actually say it on air. Should we really be telling them how stupid they are? It's kind of crazy.
What's crazy is they don't realize what you just said. They, look in the mirror, people, or listen to the community and what people in the community are saying. It just shows you how obtuse they are.
Oh, that's your SAT word of the hour. Ooh, obtuse. And it's accurate.
My Shawshank Redemption word.
It's a great word. To show you that they are obtuse and out of touch, we have to go to Insha Rahman, of the Vera Institute of Justice, because she shows you in this clip 14E, that the Democrats are really in touch with what matters.
Issues voters care about. Where does Trump go? Migrant crime, carjackings, the really lurid, awful stuff that is a crazy, crazy visual. Don't take the bait, because most Americans are more worried about how are we going to address mental health issues, the visible homelessness that we see on streets, and how do we deal with mental health and other issues that drive the sort of random incidents that scare all of us. That's what you should be talking about. That's where you should be focused. Don't take the bait in talking about migrant crime or carjackings or the things that actually don't matter to that many Americans. And then go to the...
Don't
carjacking. As someone who's been carjacked at gunpoint, I can tell you it matters. Boy, oh boy, just keep this up. This is one of the most positive bits of news I've seen, is what the Democrats are doing. And to show you that we've really dodged a bullet, we need to look no further than the very disturbed former vice presidential candidate, Tampon Tim.
Think of how easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine. Now he's talking about burning flags. He's going to have flag burning or whatever. Because he knows there's a hell of a lot of flags with his picture on it that are going to get burned.
What?
American flags?
Wait, what?
Medication time. Medication time. All patients to the... Wow. That is... He can't even say that guy. I mean, his name. It's like The View. You know, Whoopi won't say Trump's name. She goes, that man. They are so affected. But that's not the worst. That's not the worst of Tim Walz. There is more.
The privilege of my lifetime was stand beside someone we know was the most qualified and would have been a fantastic president in a President Harris.
Oh, my God.
And look, we wouldn't wake up every day to a bunch of on TV and a bunch of nonsense. We would wake up to an adult with compassion and dignity and vision and leadership doing the work, not a man-child crying about whatever's wrong with him. May his fat ankles find something today. Petty as hell.
Yeah, you are.
May his fat ankles find something today. Don, can you explain that to me?
May his fat ankles find something today.
What does that even mean?
Is he making fun of the venous, well, what Dr. Roizen talked about earlier with President Trump's diagnosed venous issues, you know, that are probably made worse, exacerbated by all the, you know, airplane travels. He was trying to negotiate world peace. So I guess he's making fun of somebody's diagnosis.
May his fat ankles find something today.
That's not nice.
So physical disabilities are something we shouldn't talk about unless they are part of the problems that Donald Trump is facing. Then they're fair game and mockery.
Yeah.
Boy,
Not
oh boy.
nice.
I hope he tries to run again.
He's not.
All right, we have to take a break. Oh, do you know, are we going to do the top three, Dawn?
Big three.
We will coming up.
Because I feel shortchanged from news today.
Uh-oh.
I have a news deficit. I have a Dawn news deficit. I need some. So we'll do that just around the corner. It's Michael Pelkin for Nick Kayal, Kayal and Company, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants.
Everyone knows champs come from Philly, like the delicious and unbeatable Tasty Cake. Think about it. Mouth-watering candy cakes have a creamy layer of peanut butter filling on top of delicious cake, all enrobed in a delicious chocolate coating. And let's talk about Crimpets, a uniquely shaped fluffy cake topped with a delectable layer of smooth and subtle butterscotch icing. They're a home run every time. Whether you're rooting for the Phillies in the stadium or from home, make sure you've got only the best treats on deck. Tasty Cake, except no substitutes.
This is the energy of space and sound. With 3 rows of premium seating, this is the 7-passenger Acura MDX. This is the energy of innovation. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Visit Piazza Acura in Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester today.
You know you have pride in your team when you offer a guarantee for the life of your roof. That's right, for decades and thousands of roof installations, the award-winning team at GP Martini lives for roofing. That's why homeowners trust GP Martini to protect their largest investment. Whether you're considering an asphalt, shingle roof, metal roof, or even a solar roof, you can trust GP Martini Roofing. Visit martiniroofing.com. There's probably a satisfied GP Martini customer in your neighborhood. martiniroofing.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a strong term to
There were people
call
that
someone
weren't-
over a pillow fight.
Weren't happy about, and that's pillow fights with scantily clad women and pillow. Well, we'll talk about it coming up because right now we have bigger fish to fry. Is it time for the big three?
It's the Big 3 at 8 on Kayal and Company.
Your Big Three sponsored this morning, this Tuesday morning, August the 26th, sponsored by Staples. Number one, the tributes have gone viral and the tributes are flowing after the sad news that Jimmy Murray, the former general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, has died and went to heaven. He was 87 years young, beloved here and across the Commonwealth for sure, and across the country, really, for those of us, who had the honor of knowing him. But Murray serving as the Eagles general manager from 1972 to 81, and during his tenure, hired head coach Dick Vermeil, of course, who led the team to its first Super Bowl appearance in 1980. And Jimmy Murray was a Philadelphia native, a Villanova grad, and of course remembered and beloved for co-founding the first last night of just love on social media. It was really beautiful, but a great leader in the community. Jimmy Murray, we're thinking
Rest
about
in
you.
peace, Jimmy. Rest in peace. Wow. The very first Ronald McDonald House, if you think about them, they're ubiquitous, and they do such brilliant and beautiful work. Wow.
I hadn't realized it was actually founded by a CHOP doctor, oncologist Dr. Audrey Evans, along with Jim Murray here in Philadelphia. Pretty awesome stuff to hear that. And reading about it, it looks like Murray was actually instrumental in persuading a lot of people in the NFL to get involved with the charity as well.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and you think about, sick children from around the world come to, let's say Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and our incredible hospitals. And so when they come here to try to find, and just navigate, and they have other kids and all of that. So to have someplace like the Ronald McDonald House where they can stay and at least have some semblance of a normalcy and support while their child is going through life-saving care, it's an incredible backup. And it just, for him to, think of that with a cancer doctor from CHOP, and to, for those of us who fundraise for them, as a lot of us here have, it's just, what an incredible inspiration. That's leadership,
Well, that's also leaving a mark on this
Yes.
planet, other than saying, oh, well, I created a great football team and hired Dick Vermeil, who gave us great wines, etc. That's really leaving something. That's good work.
Also,
Beautifully said.
it's just an absolutely beautiful story that you have there. Sorry, thought I had more there.
And so also the story that broke yesterday, and I think Rachel Maddow, I think she was going to lose her mind when this story broke. But this was
good.
President Trump, last night firing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, and everybody's in the media is reporting unprecedented. It's an unprecedented move, whether or not he's allowed to do that, and sparking this huge battle and this controversy. President Trump said in a letter that, of course, was posted on True Social last night that he's removing Cook effective immediately. Why? Well, because of these allegations that she allegedly, I have to say allegedly, she allegedly committed mortgage fraud. And so Cook then, replying to this last night, saying she will not step down, saying President Trump purported to fire me for cause when no cause exists under the law. He has no authority to do so. That from Cook. So the back and forth, I will not resign.
So she didn't deny the mortgage fraud allegations, but she said he has no right to fire me?
Basically.
Because wouldn't you, if you hadn't committed mortgage fraud, wouldn't you come out and say, well, I didn't do that?
Well, that's a good point.
Just saying.
I am innocent. I have not done that. I think, what she's saying is that she hasn't been found guilty of it. She is not, so she didn't say, here's what she did not say. I did not do this.
Right.
She never said that. Or she did not say, I have been exonerated of this, because she has not. So she's saying, I will not resign, but she does have a point that she has not been found guilty of this. Do you know what I'm saying?
And you are innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
And Trump is obviously not happy. The president not happy with what the Federal Reserve Board has been doing. You have to wonder, will this move make Powell less likely to cut rates in September as a response to it?
Well, that's a good point. But he's trying to boot her, and it does, again, because he by just putting something out, by putting a statement out like this, everybody's talking about it. And so did she commit, just the first thing you said, well, why didn't she deny it? Why didn't she say, I'm innocent? What? I never committed mortgage
baseless.
fraud.
If you come out and go, these are baseless claims. No, you can't. No, she came out. You can't fire me. I have fire insurance or something else.
I have fire insurance. By the way, Governor Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania's governor, says now that he is open to using all that money from a big multi-billion-dollar special transit fund that, of course, pays for, among other things, capital projects to help SEPTA reverse these deep service cuts that we were talking about yesterday that went fully into effect yesterday to get all of Pennsylvania's transit agencies on solid footing. So we announced yesterday SEPTA had eliminated 32 of those bus routes, cutting service across the board by 20%, reducing the number of trips on rail lines, among other things. And these service reductions, of course, driven, number one, by SEPTA's $213 million deficit. So running on a pretty big, more than a couple $100 deficit. But in this one, this was a Republican idea because the Republicans in the legislature had found this more than $2 billion fund that's sort of a rainy day fund and also does fund some capital projects. But the Republicans had said, hey, we don't have a budget yet, more than 2 months, but why don't you have to do anything drastic, just go off of the rainy day fund, the reserve fund that has billions in it, while we hammer out the budget. But they didn't do that, but now Shapiro says he's for that.
So it's really just about 12% of the rainy day fund, right?
Yeah.
So that should be a no-brainer. If you're the governor, I give Shapiro credit. He comes up with some pretty logical answers. He's not like a typical Democrat, and that's why I always think he's a 2028 candidate possibility for them. But 12% of your rainy day fund, that's why you have a rainy day fund.
Yes.
You can rebuild that. So I hope they get this solved. When will we know? Is there a timeline on it?
Well, the latest headline is that Shapiro says they're close to resolving the budget issues. But I do have to wonder because officially our treasurer, very popular treasurer, Stacey Garrity, has just announced within the last week that she's running against him. And as we all know, I don't know if it's common knowledge, it is to us here, but because we talked about it, but she is incredibly popular. Even Shapiro endorsed her for treasurer against a Democrat. I mean, she got more votes than Trump in the last elect. You know what I mean? She's like very popular, military veteran, angel of the desert, Bronze Stars, the whole shebang. And so the fact that she has announced for governor, and come out and criticized him because she's a money person. She's the treasurer. And so the fact that she has come out and said, well, this is what I would do, I have to just wonder if that is sparking him to become more vocal and talk about this more and say, hey, we got to get this resolved because it's a bad look.
Well, if he gets the credit for it and he gets the credit for doing bipartisan work here, this all leads me to believe that, yes, he's a 2028 candidate because he's going to say, I can work with both sides. I can bring people together. And if she is looking inevitable, I heard her make that announcement on Dom's show last week. I thought it was very exciting. I did not know much about her, and since that time I've been like, well, wait a minute, is this a rising star in the GOP? Kind of feels that way. So there could be some wins for both sides here, and ultimately a win for the transit system.
Yeah. I mean, the truth of it is that we have to get, and what she has talked about is that the funding for our schools, it's a bad formula. We had that lawsuit what was that, Dan, a year ago, where we had the legal situation where now we're forced to try to make this an equal system, and the funding for it's a hot mess. And so they had to transfer a lot of money to fund education. We pay here in Pennsylvania, we pay more than 45% more for our energy than the rest of the country. We pay more per student. We're among the highest in the nation. It's a funding mess here in Pennsylvania. So the fact that you have a treasurer who is somebody who can tackle this, and when she speaks about it in a very common sense way, to say we got to tackle this and we got to figure this out, we shouldn't be paying all of this, I think that's a problem for Shapiro to have this challenger at this time.
This is encouraging because you have the potential for both Pennsylvania and I think New Jersey as well to hinge their gubernatorial elections on energy costs. Utility bills are both crazy, in both states are crazy.
Yeah.
And I hope the GOP will take the advantage here on this one. Those are huge stories, Don. I guess that's why it's called the Big Three.
I know. We have so much news today, and the news cycle is incredible, but we are sponsored by Staples this morning. Your local Staples, hot deals, super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business or for back to school. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions do apply, so you want to visit staples.com/print for all the deets. Ends 9/13, September 13th. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. It's so easy. It's usually on your cell phone. If you don't have that, you got to get the rewards program. Staples, thank you for sponsoring our Big Three.
Thank you, Staples. Dan, you had...
just a quick side note. 1210 historian Jim Kelly came in here and gave me a note. Didn't realize this, but Jim Murray was actually a host here at 1210 WPHT for years. The co-founder of Ronald McDonald House hosted from December 2005 for a couple of years a show called... Remember When? A Walk Down Memory Lane. It was Steve Ross, Jim Murray, Jackie Strauss. They told jokes, reminisced about the ways things used to be, took phone calls from a legion of listeners who are grateful for what he described as an oasis of calm and fun amid the relentless flow of mass media hot air, doom, and gloom. So rest in peace to a great man there, Jim Murray.
Wow, what a lovely little factoid. History matters, and part of the doom and gloom patrol, that's me. And the hot air, that's me. Dawn, I have to ask, did you bring your grammar badge today, your grammar police badge?
Always.
Good. You might have to yield it.
I know.
Stephen A. Smith did something when he was talking to Bill Maher. It's an interesting point. It's about the Democrats and how ignorant they are. But you got to hear, because I think he believes he's a 2028 candidate. But I think the Dawn Grammar Police will be writing some tickets. We'll get to that just around the corner. It's Opelka on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Just grabbing my charger. Heading to Sam's for dinner.
Okay, but you'll miss your favorite tenderloin.
Wait, is that the Tuscan herb?
Mm-hmm. Hatfield marinated Tuscan herb. That's a real shame.
Did I say I was going to Sam's? Sam's coming here. Keep up, Dad.
When better care leads to better pork, it's irresistible. Hatfield Pork. Better care, better pork.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. You're constantly searching for extra energy boost. As we age, our bodies produce less of the natural fuel needed to combat fatigue. Discover Rescue Orosine from Rescue Natural Supplements. Now, Rescue Orosine helps enhance energy production at the cellular level, supports a healthy heart, and maintains optimal blood pressure. Plus, right now, our exclusive radio listener offer, you can take advantage of a special offer. Buy 1 bottle of Orosine, get another completely free. All that you have to do is use the code FUEL when placing an order. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Remember, use that code FUEL at checkout. Again, mention the code FUEL when you call or use it at res-q.com to get your second bottle of energy-producing Rescue Orosine totally free.
You can now tune in to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
It is 8:51 on this Tuesday morning. Kayal and Company, Nick Kayal, celebrating the first week of school and enjoying the new home. It's Mike Opelka in. Dawn is here. Greg Stocker in the corporate mandated week of sensitivity training or something. I think it's anger management. I'm not sure. But Dan is here.
Who I am?
Yes, we do. We too well. All too well, sir. So hopefully the recovery will be complete and he'll be back next week. I believe so, maybe after Labor Day. And Phil's going to be here an hour from now with the Look at Today in Music, which is always a stone gas for me. But I want to, I think I have time to do this real quickly. Can we check in with a couple of folks who are weighing in on the phones, 855-839-1210. We are asking you about the flag burning executive order the president signed yesterday. Dan, who do we have on the flag burning?
First, we have Bo in Levittown, and we also have Ed and Delran after that. But first,
okay, let's go to Bo first. Hello, Bo.
Hey, good morning, Mike. I enjoy when you fill in, and of course, I always enjoy Dawn and Dan. I'll probably see him at Chesterhova this weekend, I would think, but you never know. But
okay.
In regards to the flag burning, I think it's classic President Trump, where he's probably trolling people, and he wants to show that the left, including the Democrats and the liberals, I'll include them all in one fell swoop, are going to burn flags and therefore hate this country like they hate the Constitution and everything else. So I think it's classic Trump. He probably realizes he would actually lose if things go to the Supreme Court, but as somebody said earlier, it's about the cost of legal fees and all that kind of stuff, and people may have second thoughts when they go out there to burn the American flag, is my opinion. Second point I wanted to make, as far as Stephen Miller, I believe he is the perfect foil. When you're talking about sympathy, I don't mean. I mean, are you talking about sympathy for the victims, which I think Mr. Miller does convey? I don't, and it's very sexist of you, Mike, to say that a woman doesn't, can only have sympathy. I have sympathy, but maybe we can put out one of our beta mails from the party to put forth that message. If you don't
I don't think we have
mind.
any beta mails. So the Dems have an exclusive
How much money we
contract.
talking over here? I'll do it.
Dan, you're not a beta male at all. Thank you,
And
sir.
the third point I want to make, and you can respond, is the reason. I mean, we have the second highest gas tax in the country, which is one of the reasons why our gas is so high compared to other states. Our electric is so high, and as far as Shapiro, Mike, come on, he's a chameleon. He's as left wing as they come. Sometimes he'll do a couple things here and there. He probably would be a great candidate for the Democrats, but let's face it, a lot of Democrats are anti-Semites. And unless he converts to some other religion, I don't think he has a shot, unfortunately.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, but all I'm doing is a political analysis. I think he's got presidential timber and could be a Democrat candidate, and I would not be surprised to see him make a serious run because he's been able to accomplish things. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't have to take your mittens off to count the number of Democrats who've actually gotten stuff done. So he has that. If we ever get back to policies and accomplishments, Shapiro has a record. Very few other Democrats do.
Well, the only thing I could say, the one thing that he did fail on, that he made a promise on, and I hope Stacey Garrity pounds him on it, is school choice.
Yeah.
From that standpoint.
And I was asking her about that yesterday. She does.
And
school choice, and then the trans issue.
Big time.
Well,
She's
we're
gotta pound that
up
in.
against the clock, so you got to be quick.
I enjoy the show. The other thing I was going to say is I enjoy the show, and I look forward to listening to Dawn while I'm at work. And
Good.
I'll talk to you later, and see you at Czestochowa, man. All right?
See you there.
Wow, this is like a coded message.
I
You'll
don't know
explain
what
to
he's
me.
talking about,
Yeah,
I think he means that there are all kinds of fall festivals and events in Chestnut Hill coming up. So it's probably
Well, we'll be seeing you there too, I think.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, why just me? You're one for the street festivals, are you not?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said both of us.
Did he say Dawn or Dan?
I don't know. I
He
think
said both.
Initially,
He said
yeah,
both.
Both
Okay.
of us, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
I
was
think
talking
you're a
about
bunch
both of you. I teased the Stephen A. Smith thing. We're not going to get to it now. We'll get to it next hour. Plus, if you missed Dr. Roizen breaking down what's going on with Donald Trump and his ankles after this crazed Democrat tried to say Trump's going to die in 6 to 8 months, we'll get that for you. Plus, the Fight Club has become Pillow Fight Club for the next 2 days. I think you'll enjoy this more.
You
It's
keep
just
trashing us, man. Says Dan's beta a little woke.
Ooh,
Mike, I don't know. Are we soft for going with the Pillow Fight Club?
No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. A little testosterone, people. You'll enjoy Beta
It's
Club.
a sexy fight. You should just call it
is.
sexy Fight Club.
You don't understand how hard it was trying to find a clothed pillow fight.
We couldn't put like the little butterflies over the tender bits.
Ooh,
I guess we could.
Ooh, that'd be good.
That's a new kind of editing. I don't know if Phil has that. He's got all the skills you want, but we'll see. We'll get to that just around the corner. Fight Club, Pillow Fight Club, Sexy Fight Club, whatever it is. Stephen A. Smith's grammar meltdown and of Dr. Roizen. Plus, the fourth hour of the show. It's Opelka in for Kayal on Kayal & Company.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
All right, man. I'm finally doing it. I'm proposing, but I need the perfect ring. Where do I go?
Dude, you need to go to Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square. They've got a fully stocked case for same-day pickup, or Paul Cozy can create a custom piece just for her. Plus, their diamonds are hand-set and hand-picked. Step up to the 5th C, bro. Color, cut, clarity, carat, and cozy.
I'm in. Found them. CozyJewelers.com and their Insta at Cozy Jewelers. This ring is going to be legendary.
Step up to the 5th C, Cozy Jewelers.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-597-7992. That's 800-597-7992 today.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 9:01 on this Tuesday morning. Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal. Don Stenzelin is here. Dan Borowski, Phil Almquist, and you, the very vocal online vast and unpaid resource
Very
department.
Ooh,
some of
angry.
them are angry.
Why are you angry?
They're angry because we've taken away the TNA in Fight Club.
Land of Pods, so angry. I tried to stick with you guys. See you in a few days. Later, kids. The only one you can truly count on is Phil Almquist. Dawn is solid, too. But Pillow Fight Club is a bridge too far, guys. Nope. He's noping out.
He didn't even try it. He didn't even check it out.
Yeah.
You got to see. It's tittillating.
Don't
Is
knock
it not?
till you try it.
That's right. Thank you, Dawn.
I think like people are blowing it up too much. It's not going to live up to the expectations
funny.
at this point.
I know.
Well, we can't show the boubage.
Yeah.
We can't expose the tender vegetation. There are restrictions, but we can titillate. Second time I've used that word.
Yeah, on purpose it seems.
This break,
Yeah.
just appropriate. Do we have news before we get to the Stephen A. Smith and the Fight Club thing?
Our next planned news is 9:30, but I don't know.
Okay.
Does Dawn want to do it here? She wants.
Do it till you satisfied. No, we can always do news.
Yeah, she always has it ready for you, Mike. It's your call. Or you have the
I'm
Stephen A.
always
Smith direction.
ready when you are.
And even when I'm not, which is good. I've distracted myself.
Dealer's choice: Stephen Smith or Dawn Stenzel.
Really quick, I'll just give you a couple headlines.
There you go.
Philadelphia
Sure,
lawmakers holding a news conference yesterday. Josh Shapiro among them as well, but lawmakers holding this news conference. Mayor Sherelle Parker, other city council members emphasizing you got to get SEPTA back. School just started yesterday, so apparently they're all pushing for a resolution to solving the SEPTA, as they're calling it, a crisis. So we have that headline happening. And as well, we had President Trump saying he was willing to meet with North Korea's rocket man, if you will, Kim Jong-un, that happened this morning. And so we have a lot of headlines this morning. Yes.
And you are going to have a cabinet meeting in the middle of your show today.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Meeting.
11 o'clock cabinet meeting, Dawn. So you'll have a meeting in the Dawn show that's going on.
Not my cabinet, Trump's cabinet.
Well, I would like to know who's in the Dawn cabinet.
Yes.
We should talk about that. The Secretary of War in the Dawn cabinet. We'll find out. Stephen A. Smith, I've teased this for a little bit now. I believe this guy has presidential aspirations, certainly political aspirations, and he kind of feels like Trump gave him the ability or the right to seek political office. And I'm not the biggest Stephen A. Smith fan. You can tell because I don't call him Stephen A. like the cool kids do. They'll refer, Stephen A. said this. To me, he's always kind of been Stephen A. Hole, but that's a different story. He was on with Bill Maher, and this was just the other day. I hope that didn't offend anyone, really, seriously. I don't care. Stephen A. Smith was on with Bill Maher and seemed to leave the audience speechless when he explained how Democrats just don't know what they're doing.
Here's the deal. The man was impeached twice. He was convicted on 34 felony counts. And the American people still said, he's closer to normal than what we see left. That's what they're saying. He's closer to normal. Why? Because something that pertains, when you talk about the transgender community, for example, and you're talking about the issues that pertain to less than 1% of the population, the Democratic Party came across as if that was a priority more so than the other issues. And so he comes into office. Now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the muster, but he knows that he.
Whoa. Yeah, pause that for 1 second.
What?
Did you hear what he said? He's talking about all these fringe issues that the Democrats are connected to. And he says he knows, meaning Donald Trump, knows that's not going to pass the mustard. Dawn, I'm throwing the grammar flag.
Mustard.
Yeah, mustard indeed. This is one of those indicators.
Mustard.
To me, that this person is not smart. It's pass muster, not the mustard.
Oh, jeez.
Am I wrong to throw a grammar flag on him, Dawn?
I just have to wonder if he has all of our silly drops in his head, living rent free.
Oh, he's trying to trigger us?
You know, because every 10 seconds you hear that mustard by DeSantis. I wonder if, you know what I mean? I wonder if we've changed the saying here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I don't.
Do you think the people are now saying pass the mustard instead of pass muster?
I just think that mustard drop is so prevalent that perhaps it's just in his brain. I'm really serious.
You know what's amazing? When I say mustard, she goes, mustard.
Yeah.
Mustard.
I mean, and here's the thing. For people who don't listen all the time, they're like, what are you doing? You know, but we have that in our head for years. Mustard. That DeSantis, I'll never get that out of my head. So maybe Stephen A. just...
Something that pertains, when you talk about the transgender community, for example, and you're talking about the issues that pertain to less than 1% of the population, the Democratic Party came across as if that was a priority more so than the other issues. And so he comes into office. Now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard.
Mustard.
It's just so ignorant. It's past muster. It's passing an inspection. Muster. Not mustard, not passing the mustard. I'm not handing you some Frenches or some Grey Poupon. I just think if we're going to not police the language is going to die.
But now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard, but he knows that he made that promise.
The funny thing is, I just looked it up, and this is funny. Merriam-Webster vocabulary.com. They have all of these things, muster or mustard, which gets a pass. So apparently this is a common thing where people will say mustard instead of muster, which I did not know. But it says the good news is that the appropriate choice of words to precede muster and mustard is very clear. One passes muster. And one cuts the mustard.
True.
So, mustard. Anyway, pardon the expression, but
Mustard.
This is a thing.
Well, it's a bad grammar thing. I like Stephen A. Smith because I think he has a reasonable level of unreasonableness.
Mm-hmm.
He's still kind of out there on the left, but he's right to call out the Democrats and say, hey, you're on the wrong side of the 90-10 issues. So I just wanted to see if you had any
mustard, but he.
Grammar. We should hear the end of that. Can you pick it up right from there and let it go to the end? Because it really goes after.
So when he shows up week 1 on Capitol Hill and he says, this is what we're going to do through an executive order, even though it's going to be shot down through the courts and what have you, he's saying, I kept my promise. A lot of other things that he's going to point to that he's going to try to do, I kept my promise. Then you turn around and you look at the left and you say, what promises did you keep? Now, you might know the answer to that. I'm certainly not questioning your knowledge about that at all. What I'm saying is what resonated with the voter. What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home and that man is back into the White House and they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about him. Look at it. This is the latest. Look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do. He promised you he was going to do these things, and he walked into office week 1, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's saying, y'all do something about it. And when you try to do something about it, he's going to say, look at them now. Now they're concerned about these issues. Were they talking about that during the campaign? Hell no. That's really it. Yeah. Well,
see, I think he's a candidate.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to this site, I'm still looking this up, cut the mustard means to meet expectations. The phrase's origin is somewhat debated, but commonly believed to be an Americanism evolving from the older phrase, pass muster.
Mustard.
So it's maybe he created a portmanteau phrase.
Childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. Mm-hmm. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard, but he knows that.
So he means cut the mustard, which has nothing to do with cutting the cheese. So I'll just put that out there.
Unless you're putting the mustard on the cheese. Which I don't recommend. Just enjoy the cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my grammar gripe for the day. I may have another one tomorrow, but Stephen A., I guarantee you he's going to be a candidate. Thank you for indulging me, Dawn. You may now put your grammar badge back in your bag. Is it time for Fight Club, Dan?
Pillow Fight Club. Everybody loves a good pillow fight, and pillow fights equal ratings, too.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Pillow Fight Club, sponsored by Tri-County Auto Group. 3 locations, 1 prior to you. Visit tricounty.com. And, yeah, here we come. Here we are with our new fight. And let's just say it's only temporary for those that are very angry in the chat about it. But we will be doing Pillow Fight Club today as just a little bit of a detour. And what I found during my research for Pillow Fight Club is... you probably shouldn't use a work computer to search Pillow Fight Club because on Twitter there's a lot of explicit material, a lot of nude women, and maybe with Mike's request we'll have it tomorrow. But what I did find is there's actually a professional Pillow Fight Club.
Really?
Yeah, we're actually kind of infringing on 2 rules, that being no professional fights and, hand-to-hand combat with a professional fight involving pillows, but still, I gotta say, I don't want to say the W word that Nick always uses because I'm married, but take a watch.
Okay. Okay. Hard action from the beginning. We have Dimitrova, which is keeping her chin tucked, trying to land. Good blocking. Ooh.
It's interesting, Peter, when they came in they were smiling.
Yes.
And it didn't look like they were perhaps taking it as seriously as a real fight, but now the fight has started.
They're not smiling anymore.
They're focused.
Hey, a fight is a fight, even with a pillow, right?
Well, yeah, this is probably new to most people here, but there is some skill involved. Both these girls have been training, and I was watching them warming up. There is an interesting variety of techniques. And just to let the audience know how this is scored, obviously we've got a referee in there, but there's a spinning back pillow.
Yeah, so spinning back pillow gets certain points and more points for others. But Mike, Is this ever going to take off, professional pillow fighting?
Yeah, I hope so. I've got a feeling that the people who are trashing us for not doing a normal Fight Club, if you're really watching this red-blooded American males, I think this is fairly interesting.
Do you actually find it interesting?
No, not really. I'm making this up. Trying to defend myself.
And just for equality's sake, there is a men's division too, but it's not as entertaining.
Nobody's watching the men's division of this.
Well, Dawn, are you plan to go watch a men's professional pillow fight?
I did not know that this was a thing.
No. Yeah.
So can we lobby Dana White to have this be on the undercard on July 4th on the White House lawn ahead of the UFC?
The only way that this would be interesting, I'll go here because it's a horrible thing to say, but if they were naked, it would be huge.
Or even bikinis.
Nah, naked.
Yeah,
I can't say that, Dawn.
Maybe,
but then
maybe thongs. Yeah, maybe like thongs. Because you got to see some cleavage somewhere.
Yeah, right now it looks like they got mom shorts on.
Yeah, those are like mom yoga pants, little halter tops.
What country is this in,
young
Dan?
ladies.
Do we know where this came from?
Bulgaria, I think, is where it originated, actually.
Oh, Bulgaria.
You would assume one of those countries, right? Yeah.
It's an Eastern European thing. It's not going to be in the Olympics.
See, and you can tell they're not Americans because American women who fight grab the hair. They have this long hair.
I think there's probably a rule, though, no hair grabbing.
They probably have a rule, but I'm telling you, an American woman in there could not help herself. She would grab one of those long ponytails and yank her down. That's America for you.
See, the Professional Pillow Fight Club, I'd like to know, do they have cheerleaders at the Pillow Fight Club?
That would be awesome.
Mangle Mush on YouTube says, boo.
Yeah. This is boring. So you have to... See, this is why America...
Tom says worse than yesterday, but we got some good positive comments as well. Sorry, Dawn, what were you saying?
No, this is why America, we make everything better. So we could improve these same women if we just changed a few things. Wear a thong, number one. Yeah. Let's just go here. And if you can pull at a thong and a tube top, and you're allowed to pull at the tube top.
Okay.
Boom. You've just improved it.
And like you're sitting there on the edge of your seat, like,
they're going to pull
nope, not yet.
Because you could just count on that people then want the suspense. When are they going to go for the tube top? Do you know what I'm saying? And now you've added suspense.
I think I found my new dream job as a judge in Pillow Fight Club. I think I want to apply for this, but I don't want to live in Bulgaria.
Kimmy writes that referee's got to love his job.
Yeah. These guys, think of the jobs this has created. There are fighters, there are trainers, there is a referee, there are at least two people doing commentary.
Patty writes, as embarrassing as being a combatant is, imagine being the ref and having to explain it later to the guys at the bar what you're refereeing.
Yes. But
you had a big fight tonight.
They're too orderly. You see what I'm saying? You have to add some sense of dirt, chaos, and suspense. So all you have to do, a thong and a tube top.
Kirk has an idea here. Kirk says bikinis only, and the knockout comes when the other's bikini falls off.
Or is yanked off. You're allowed to yank.
But it has to be done with the pillow.
Oh, wait.
What did you say, Dawn?
Well, I don't know what I said.
You just said you're allowed to yank, so they need to isolate
you're allowed
that.
to yank it.
She just doubles
almost like flag football. Oh. You could do like flag football.
Yeah.
Maybe like flag, pillow, like bikini. Thong
there you
bikini,
go.
Thong bikini. So you have like little flags, like flag football, on like 4 on the sides of the thong, in the front, the back of the back cleavage, and the sides. And then the bikini top would have like multiple flags around the body. Do you know what I'm saying? And then
I do.
With a pillow, which might have some Velcro on it or something. Like the flag, like a Velcro flag.
So if you hit the flag, the Velcro will pull it.
Yes. What do you think?
We have solved this in less than 5 minutes.
Flag football pillow fight.
Flag Velcro pillow.
I like it.
Thong bikini.
We have Fees. Damn right. He says, I mean, y'all did get a chance to vote for this, right? I remember Pillows won by a sliver. Yeah, Pillow fight.
That's right.
And we can see why. It's,
gave you what you voted for. You voted for this.
And Kevin says, why don't we fill the pillows with soap, bricks, and rolls of quarters?
No,
it's not a mob movie. Come on. What's wrong with you people? That's very. But Dan, you've done good work. Dawn, you've done yeoman duty here fixing this. You should get a consulting
Dawn.
fee. What's
Sorry, consulting fee.
Yeah, no, this chat's just yeah. See, we told you guys we'd have something for you. The thing is, Mike, this is the only pillow fight one I can find that was worth showing. So I don't know. This might be the end of Pillow Fight Club today.
I don't know. We'll see. Give it time, Dan. We have.
Is there any other ideas for maybe alternative? Like someone said, how about Goalie Fight Club? Hockey Goalie Fight Club.
That's pretty good, but there's no bikinis and there's no scantily clad women. I think this is much better. I think we fixed Fight Club. I'm just going to declare it now.
Would Dawn be offended if we dug up an old, Attitude Era WWF clip and go like one of the old matches, the mud matches or the brawn panties matches of the past?
Cream corn wrestling.
Is that something you did, Mike?
No, it's something I actually was ringside commentator on during the Wacky Zoo days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, there's an allegation here.
Oh, what
happened? The blonde girl in the blue, according to Uncle Sam, the blonde girl in the blue has rolls of dimes in her pillow.
Uh-oh.
Allegation.
Oh, man. Well, I would think that the brunette girl would be knocked out much sooner.
Can't they x-ray the pillows before they walk in the ring just to see if there's porn? Somebody's got a tire iron in there or something. Come on.
Crow Talking says Dana White will figure it out. I'm telling you, Dana would like my ideas.
Yeah. Dana White, undercard, White House South Lawn, July 4th, 250th anniversary. Professional pillow fights lead into the UFC title fight. It will be a stone gas.
Beautiful. That's all we got for Fight Club. Right. Pillow Fight Club today.
We'll see if we get back tomorrow. There might be a riot.
Can I make a prediction?
What's that?
Yeah.
Bill Maloogian, I've long thought this. He's filling in anchoring today.
Yeah.
He will replace Brett Baer one day.
Ooh.
He's the next
hot take.
Fox News anchor. It will happen.
He's very good.
He's very well liked. He's like, he and Caroline Levitt, like they're both these unicorns, but he is the Fox News heir apparent.
The future.
Someday. He's the future of Fox News. I just had to say that.
He did such great work at the border when the border was being swarmed. I think he got his bona fides there, and now he has proven he can handle the anchor desk too. So that's a really good call. Circle this date.
Circle it.
The 26th. And when Bill Maloogian bumps Brett Baer in his G-Wagon, we'll find out what's going on, and Dawn will get all the credit. We got to take a break. It's 9:21. If you weren't here at 6 o'clock, like Dawn, you may have missed Dr. Michael Roizen and what he said about Donald Trump and the swollen ankles, because there are Democrats saying Trump has 6 to 8 months to live because he's not well. He has congestive heart failure. We'll see what a real doctor says from the Cleveland Clinic coming up just around the corner. It's Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal on Kayal & Company.
As summer is winding down, you got to make sure that with every season, you are efficient with your air conditioning, with your home HVAC, right? And that's why my guys, Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning, they always get us ready for the next season as you think ahead. But that's why I always have my guys out. For example, at the start of summer, they were out to get the AC unit summer ready. Take my advice. Get your unit serviced this summer or this fall. If Marvin E. Cans, if my guys feel your unit needs to be replaced, they're going to give you an honest assessment at a fair price and install a high-efficiency Trane AC unit. Hard to stop a train, as they say, Trane. Visit my guys, marvinecans.com, Kanze.com. Marvin E. Cans. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Kayal & Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Insults that are used towards bald people, some of which I've never heard and some I absolutely love, including coconut bounce, eggshell, cue ball, light bulb, and slaphead. I love slaphead.
Yeah.
Slaphead is a totally underrated word in this country.
That's what I'm going to start calling the show.
Slaphead & Company.
Or Caillou.
Cue ball and co. That's what we should call this show.
Oh, yeah.
Start your day with Kayal & Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. I want to tell you about a company that doesn't just do business in the area. They are an actual part of the community. Emmons Roofing and Siding. Emmons is family-owned and operated and local for more than 35 years. They treat your home like it's their own. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, Emmons does it all. And with their Owen Corning Platinum status, you're getting lifetime protection. Don't mess around. Trust Emmons just like I do. Call them today at 855-4-EMMONS or go to callemmons.com and tell them I sent you.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
There are so many threats to your retirement future, from geopolitical clashes to economic volatility. But the exclusive Crash-Proof Retirement System protects over 6,000 clients from each and every one of those threats.
My name is Fred Everly, and I'm a Crash-Proof retirement consumer that joined Crash-Proof 2022. Everybody should consider Crash-Proof retirement if you really want to save your nest egg, especially in the environment we're in right now. You have the opportunity to make not just 4 or 6%. You could go into the double digits, and that interest will earn more interest. I'm not losing any more money. The only thing I can do is gain, and that puts a big smile on my face.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Adelphia Restaurant in Deptford, New Jersey on September 16th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Keeping free speech alive. Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT. WPHT.
It is 9:26 on a Tuesday morning, a beautiful Tuesday morning, and it's Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal. Kayal and company. Don's here, Dan's here, Phil's here, so most of us are here. Just missing Nick, and he's on his back-to-school break, which God bless him. I hope he's playing golf this week. We haven't finished the Odyssey Cup, and it's been 2 years since I played golf against him, so maybe he's getting in some practice.
I like your vigilance.
Maybe he's getting in some practice. I'd love to try and finish this and take home the Odyssey Cup, but we'll see. I want Dom to be there, to be the uninterested third party who can say, I'm keeping an eye on these guys.
Yes.
So we got to work that out. Dawn, is the rest of the week going to be like this? Do you have any idea if the rest of the week weather is going to be good? Mostly Saturday is what I'm thinking.
Yes, so as far as the forecast goes, it looks like a lovely, I mean, tomorrow is going to be probably the best day of the week, by the way. Weather-wise, incredible weather. The only problem is for swimming down the Jersey Shore. It's a little cooler down the Jersey Shore. Like right now, we're at 69 degrees. So today we top 79 degrees. Tomorrow 77. Thursday 81. Friday 80, and then the weekend 79, 80-ish in Philadelphia.
That's kind of perfect.
Yeah. So down the shore, a little cooler.
But that's okay. Enjoy it. Get out. Enjoy the free vitamin D that we were talking about with Dr. Roizen earlier. And in case you missed it, we reached out to our friend Dr. Mike Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic because there had been a crazy Democrat who had gone viral with a video claiming that Donald Trump was probably going to die in the next 6 to 8 months. And in case you missed it, we have the clip for you.
The president's congestive heart failure is getting worse. I'm a home health physical therapist with a doctorate in my field. I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. And the reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised. And the president is definitely getting sicker. And we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such... I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
6 to 8 months tops. You know, when he mentions the president's hands and how horrible the bruises were in the president's hands, wasn't James Carville telling us that that was because the president had syphilis and his brain was rotting? I think that was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Carville was saying that. Just, it's crazy what they reach for. So we reached out to, as I said, our friend Dr. Michael Roizen to see if he had any analysis of both the president's condition and what this guy was saying. This guy's out there telling us he's got 6 to 8 months to live. What do you know about the president's health and the swollen ankles, and what can we know?
Well, swollen ankles can be a sign of congestive heart failure, or can be you're eating too much salt and you're not sitting in a position or standing in a position where your legs are above, your ankles are above your heart level. So he's been traveling on planes. He went to Alaska. He went to Europe. He came back from Alaska in one day, played golf, and then met with the 8 European leaders, including Zelensky, in Washington. That's an incredible amount of stamina. If you think of it, and when you're on a plane, you generally don't lie flat. You're sitting in a chair. And my guess, he was sitting in a chair, and with the change in atmospheric pressure, et cetera, that it turns out the ankles do swell from that and salty food. And they said, of course, that his hands had makeup on them because he had an IV sites in them where he was getting intravenous diuretics, spironolactone and bumetanide, to decrease the ankle swelling. Even if all of that is true, what is amazing to me is the amount of stamina he has. We know from his reports that his blood pressure and his LDL cholesterol are now in normal ranges. They weren't before 2016, but they are now. And so my guess is that the job, being as stressful as it is, makes you older, but I don't think he is that much older that we have to worry about him not being around in 6 or 8 months.
Well, that's a good sign, and kind of irresponsible, I would think, to diagnose anybody, especially if you're not a doctor, if you've never examined them. That's not something you would advise anyone in the health professions to do, I'm sure.
Correct. And there are a lot of causes for, if you will, swollen ankles. In other words, it can be just he isn't moving his legs very much. And I think he was on a 8-hour flight from Washington to Anchorage or wherever it was, where the meeting was. And those are long time sitting. And not moving your ankles much, not moving your legs much. Your legs are what, those muscles in your legs and ankles, and you're moving them, are what pumps fluid from your legs back to the heart.
So just a little common sense advice from our buddy Dr. Mike Roizen. Dawn, I'm sorry you weren't here because I know you love to ask him questions, but you thought he nailed it, right?
Yeah, I did. I think that I remember on the last Italy trip, some people complain. You know, this happens on international flights a lot, or when you're flying frequently, like he's saying. And so that's what I had suspected, you know, when President Trump had the swollen ankles. It was, you know, because think about all the flying that he does. It's
the Alaska flight. Well, now think about the people that flew the B-1 bombers.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't they 18 hours there and then 18 hours back?
Yes. Yeah, that was incredible. But
do they get to walk around?
Well, but think about their age. You know, these are at the height of at the peak of their fitness. They're in their prime.
Good
right?
point. Mm-hmm.
And so here's President Trump, you know, 79 years young, and look at just think about the media. The reason the press make, you know, the press pool and whatnot, the reason that they call him chaotic, in my opinion, is they can't keep up with him at this pace. The guy is a workaholic. He works 24/7, 7 days a week. And so think about not just the international travel, but he's always working. Even when he's on the golf course, when he gets to golf, he's with different people who he's talking business. I mean, he loves his work, purpose-driven life. And I think people who live a purpose-driven life like that, first and foremost, that's a key to longevity. But also, look at didn't his dad live till like 93? I mean, his parents lived into their 90s. So there's that aspect of it. But he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, never did drugs. So
that's amazing to me.
Think of Nick Kayal has to, think of when Nick is here, he's packing up at this hour. He starts packing up, and then he goes home and naps for a couple hours. You know what I mean? In his early 40s. And so that's what, you know, you think about people, a lot of us would be wiped out if we lived and did the job that Trump does, that he did since inauguration on January 20th. And yet he just keeps on going like a locomotive. It's incredible.
It is amazing. And maybe, remember all the stories about tiger blood with Charlie Sheen? Maybe we should test Trump's blood.
Tiger blood. He's got the blood of a tiger and the heart of a lion.
Trump blood. Maybe Trump blood is there's a secret there, like the old Ben Gazzara series, Run for Your Life. He's got super blood. He's got Trump blood, which I guess we should look at Barron then, because he's got the mixture of Melania and Donald.
He's like a superhuman.
He might be the superhuman.
Well, if we're looking at him, we should look at Riley Opelka too.
Yeah.
Yes, we should.
Opelka blood.
The Opelka blood, which I didn't get the hair blood. Let's just say.
Yeah. Seems like he took all your hair and put it all over his face.
He did. Well, you haven't seen me with a beard either. I've got a picture of me about Riley's age. And again, I reiterate what I said yesterday. I look like the Zigzag Man.
Yeah.
So, and Dawn, did you go look up the Zigzag Man yesterday?
I did. Because I didn't get that reference.
Did you go buy any Zigzag?
I didn't, yeah.
No.
No, you just go to Kensington. They're handing out the papers right there in the street. We had a couple of clips before we take a break here. We have Phil's obviously history lesson in the world of music coming up just around the corner. Did you had something from Rachel Maddow, Melting Down?
No.
Oh, I referenced this because she was melting down last night when it was on True Social. Trump had put out that he was firing, on the basis of alleged mortgage fraud. He was firing a board member of the Fed, Lisa Cook, and so that is why Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. So what Rachel Maddow was melting down about was that she was saying Lisa Cook, the first ever African American woman. So Rachel Maddow was claiming that this was racist.
Of course it is. Everything's racist.
So she was she was claiming because this woman is a black woman, that's why Trump is getting rid of this person. Right.
Okay. Well, I do know I have 2 clips I wanted to share. It's kind of like a bonus cut sheet here. There was, if you go to M11, there was an MSNBC host who got fact-checked. I was really surprised by this. Former Ohio Governor John Kasich, who has not been the biggest supporter of Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. If we go back to 2016 and the convention, Dawn, were you? I know you guys were at the Philly convention. Yeah. Were you at the Cleveland convention?
Yes, so we covered all of that. But yeah, the Philadelphia convention in 2016, we were stalkers, Yoli and I. Yeah, we were live.
And then it went to
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland.
Yep.
And Kasich, who was the governor at the time, refused to show up to the RNC convention because he didn't like Trump. He was like one of the first Republican anti-Trump guys. But yesterday or 2 days ago on MSNBC, Kasich actually fact-checked the MSNBC anchor, and, well, see it for yourself.
Governor, look, you understand very clearly what it means when the National Guard comes into your state, what it means when it comes in to a community. Donald Trump essentially said today that, you know what, not only was he not happy that he wasn't being thanked for this, he suggested that there are people who want a dictator. He says, I'm not a dictator, I'm being accused of being a dictator, but some people may want someone to come in and take control. So I wonder how you see this and what the options are for governors in this case.
Well, I mean, I have to tell you, I have such a different take than what we've just heard. They talk about a manufactured crisis. Have you been in Chicago? Have you been in Baltimore? But my daughter went to school in Chicago. I remember the day she graduated, there were shootings and killings right outside of her building. And in Baltimore, I have friends that go down to Johns Hopkins, get treated for medical conditions. I mean, they are nervous about ever going there. There are parts of Baltimore that he tells me he wouldn't go into. And this is not some right-wing person. This is somebody who wants to be able to go into some of our great cities and be able to be safe. Now, I do think it's important that if you're going to do this, you've got to define the mission. You've got to talk about your authority. And I think one of the earlier guest was saying that, you know, well, maybe there's narrow ways to do it. I agree with that, but that just then says that there are ways to do it. And if I had had a crisis in Cleveland, we thought we were going to have riots or in Columbus or whatever, I would never have put, you know, the fact that, well, I'm governor, so I would want to work with other people who wanted to help me. And look, what's been happening in Chicago has been terrible. The crime rate is high. The gang problem is real. I tried to get Arnie Duncan, the former education secretary under Obama, to run for mayor. He's out there trying to work to get, you know, to deal with the gang problem. He didn't want to do it, but I think Chicago is a jewel of America. We just cannot let lawlessness and fear dominate these cities. So, yeah, I think we need to know what the mission is. I think we need to know what the authority is. I think we need to know what the length is. But the idea that these cities are somehow fine, oh, I think you're
I
just...
I don't think anybody...
Whistling.
I mean, listen,
I heard the word manufacturing crisis. This is a manufactured crisis. No, it's not. It is a crisis.
Boom.
Go ahead, Basil. You're dying to jump in here.
Absolute truth being spoken on MSNBC. That's probably the first time that happened. That was actual journalism witnessed on MSNBC.
Yeah, but they thought, let me just say this, clearly they thought he's a never-Trumper.
Yeah.
And so she's surprised that he...
That's Chris Jansen looks stunned.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, Dawn, when you're doing TV news, as you know, there's somebody in your ear, the producer's going, oh my God, my God, cut him off.
What are you doing? And so she says, so-and-so, jump in, quick.
She's terrified. She's a Chicago girl too. Chris
Oh, is
Jansen
she?
was, she's a Chicago girl. Nice lady, has kind of had a weird, tragic life. Her husband jumped off a roof in New York and killed himself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she always looks like she's kind of depressed, but maybe it's MSNBC ratings as well. But she got taken to school on that. Dan, do we have time to get the Trump on Chris Christie?
We got to get a break really bad.
Oh, let's do a break. We'll come back. The Chris Christie slam from Donald Trump yesterday was epic. And then, of course, Phil Almquist and a tease of Dawn's show, which I had so much fun listening to you guys yesterday, Dawn. Especially when you were talking. I forgot the lady's name. We were talking about school boards, and who was the first guest?
Beth Ann Rossica.
She was great.
Isn't she wonderful?
She was terrific. So I can't wait to hear about today's show with a cabinet meeting from Trump. It's Opelka in for Kayal and Company on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Some people like A and others like B. At BMW, we prefer X, like the dynamic X3 designed for ultimate exploration, the X5 with effortless precision and performance, or the X7 where comfort meets a commanding presence. All proudly assembled in BMW's largest plant worldwide in Spartanburg, South Carolina. For those who demand more from every mile, BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Visit BMW of Westchester on Route 202 for a personalized test drive today.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/news. That's GoFundMe.com/news to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/NEWS. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob! I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/radio to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Here's a great tip for summer. Trust PJ Fitzpatrick for an energy-efficient new roof. Don't just trust us. Trust their thousands of 5-star reviews and their lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. The PJ Fitzpatrick team of experienced professionals installs most roofs in just one day. Set up a free design consultation this month and save thousands. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that work with any budget. Visit trustpj.com today. That's trustpj.com.
Now, you can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
It is 9:48 on this Tuesday. Mike Opelka in for Nick Kayal and Company. Thanks for being here. Dawn is here, and Dan Borowski and Phil Almquist, who we will get to in just a second. Dawn, when we talk about your show, remind me, I have some breaking news that I think you're going to want to look into.
Yes.
Because I have short-term memory issues, apparently. I don't know. I might forget it. But I didn't want to miss out on one of the great quotes yesterday. President Trump, holding forth in the Oval Office, was asked about Chris Christie, and he had
Chris is a slob. Everybody knows it. I know Chris better than anybody in the room. I always felt he was guilty, but what he did is he took the George Washington Bridge, which is very serious. He closed down the George Washington Bridge, and you had medical people, you had ambulances caught up. This thing was closed down, and obviously he knew about it, but he blamed the young lady that worked for him and another person, and they got into a lot of trouble. She ultimately was, I don't know, exonerated, but she got out of it a little bit. But she went through hell. She was a young mother, nice person. I knew her a little bit. And another man went to jail, and Chris got off. And so when I listened to Chris speak his hate, I say, oh, what about the George Washington Bridge? Tell me about the George Washington Bridge. He blamed other people, but he knew all about it. So no, I don't know if they want to look at it. It's not for me. If they want to look at it, they can. You could ask Pam. I think we have other things to do, but I always thought he got away with murder.
We doubtful we'll see. I think the statute of limitations has well passed on that, but opening up with everybody knows is a slob is a little harsh. Kellyanne Conway's ex-husband, Georgianne Conway, which is what we're calling him going forward, Don. He's now Georgianne Conway. Yeah. He is out there reminding everybody that Trump tweeted how excited he was when Christie was exonerated. So expect to see a lot of that old tweet today when people are going after President Trump.
Yes.
It is that time. I can't believe it's time for us almost to get out of here. But one of my favorite parts of Kayal and Company is my friend Phil Almquist and his brilliant contribution. Is he here?
What happened on this day in music history? Music history on Kayal and Company.
Today, August 26th. We celebrate the birthdays of Shirley Manson from Garbage, as well as Dan Vickery from the Counting Crows. We also asked Laura Branigan on this day in 2004. Sing the Coot Hey Jude by the Beatles in 68, You Really Got Me by the Kinks in 64, and Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix in 67. Album the Coot All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot in 2008, My Own Prison by Creed in 97, Not Fragile by BTO in 74, and Waking the Fallen by Avenged Sevenfold in 2003. Also in 2007, the Stones finished their A Bigger Bang tour. In 70, Electric Ladyland Studios opened in New York. In 73, 10cc made their live debut. In 77, Kiss played the first of 3 nights at the Forum in Inglewood, California. The shows were compiled for their Alive 2 album. In 2018, Weird Al got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 86, Tina Turner got hers. In 73, Bobby Darin played his final show. And today, John Fogerty announced show at Wind Creek in Bethlehem on November 8th. But lastly, since we talked about the Dems being obtuse today, on this day in 96, delegates at the Democrat National Convention took a break to do the Macarena. And let me be very clear, if you ever dance to it just once, you are dead to me. For Kayal Company, I'm Phil Almquist.
Phil, I love your standards. It's absolutely... No,
Worst
stop.
song of all time.
Stop.
Dan should be fired right now.
Stop. Anyone who dares to do whatever those stupid hand movements, you're dead to me too.
Dead.
Oh, look at that. Is that Dawn?
No, that's me.
Not
No,
me.
it's Dan.
Shame on you.
He's
Dan.
doing the
Shame on you.
Macarena.
Phil, did you say today was the day we lost Laura Branigan?
Yes, I did.
If you want to hear how the song "The Power of Love" should be sung, listen to Laura Branigan's version. Celine Dion, okay. That's Laura Branigan.
Yep.
It's got the little hairs on the back of my neck standing up right now. She was the coolest. Just the coolest. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Whew. I still get chills on that. Dawn, what is coming up today on the Dawn Show?
Yeah, so to your point, we do have a lot of breaking news going on when we talk about election integrity, mail-in ballots. And so what a perfect day to have our friend Linda Kearns, I'm going to rename her title as the goddess of election integrity.
Wow.
She is the goddess and a great attorney and a great friend, but goddess of election integrity, Linda Kearns. She will be here to explain all of it coming up at 10:30. And as we think about Afghanistan 4 years later, of course, President Trump talking about that yesterday, the proclamation, today is the day 4 years ago. We think about Abbey Gate. What an appropriate time to honor our Gold Star dad, Charlie Strange. Talk about his son, Michael, of course, grew up here in Philadelphia, great military veteran. And we have a dear friend, our dear friend Anne-Marie, who those of you conservativetours.com know Anne-Marie well, but she's going to update us as far as what's going on in a local case of a boy murdered and no justice for his grieving father years later. And as we look at the failures of our district attorney, Larry Krasner, one of them in the heartbreak of this father. So we'll get all the updates. And who's drinking in Ocean City? Booze in Ocean City. We'll get that, and not BOOS.
Oh, I thought it was a poll. I was going to raise my hand. I thought you were quizzing us. Yeah, no Macarena, but yes, I'll have something.
Who's sneaking the liquor in Ocean City, New Jersey? So we'll get all the deets.
Very good. Dan, we did a poll today. What was the final result on the poll regarding the burning of the American flag?
66% say it should be punishable. 33% say it should be protected free speech.
Well, I believe the Supreme Court ruling on just burning the flag will be upheld, but Trump's executive order relates to using flag burning to incite people to riot and violence. There will be a court battle. We'll see what happens. Also, thanks to Delaware radio legend, Rick Jensen was listening and weighed in on the poll, too. He said he was surprised at my take. We'll discuss. Tomorrow, I'll be back. I don't know if I'm going to be in studio. They may be doing constructions in studio. Dawn, you weren't here. I got told they're fixing the doors tomorrow. So there may be jackhammering or something going on, or hammering.
What?
Yeah, something's going on tomorrow. They're working on the studio doors. Yeah, it's good. It might be fun. So we'll see. You'll find out tomorrow morning.
I think this is all an elaborate excuse for you not to come in and have to twerk.
Talk to Frank. Frank Canale called me. The great Frank called me yesterday just to let me know. I'm a big fan of Radio Verite, so I'm not like that crazy man at MSNBC. I don't have problems with the hammering. I'm good with it. But we'll see. Tomorrow there may be twerking in studio.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll find out. Till next time, Dawn, Dan, Phil, thank you, and testudo.
The hammering.
Yeah, stop the hammering and testudo, my friends. Testudo.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3